breaking in the new studio by breaking wind in the new studio. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on the show. Get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing with a friend. Illeana Douglas is back on the show. Good to see you, my dear.
Good to see you, too.
Chris Max Pattis here's got some news coming up as well. Illeana's got a book out. It's a beautiful book, a substantial book, Connecticut in the Movies. And the sub is From Dream Houses to Dark Suburbia. So what is the motivation for this book?
Well, it begins with COVID, many other place, people, writers. I was stuck in my house, and I always had an idea because I grew up in Connecticut, and I always knew there was so much Connecticut cinema that people didn't really even talk about. And so I started to work on the book, and the more I started to work on the book, I found myself at night kind of slyly scrolling through Zillow thinking, maybe a farmhouse. I did always want to fix up a farmhouse. And so I went that direction. So I bought an old 1810 farmhouse that I've been fixing up ever since. And so the second
in Connecticut.
And so then now I was writing about, Mr. Blandings builds his dream house, and I was a real life Mrs. Blandings dealing with, I was completely in the plot of the movie. I was taken by, the shrewd Yankee realtor had convinced me to get a money pit, and I had all sorts of contractors laughing at me and making fun of me. And
by the way, we should set the table with Illeana. New York Stories, of course, Goodfellas, of course, Cape Fear, of course, Road Hard, my movie, of course, as well, Last Temptation of Christ. I mean, it just keeps going. So we got Rotten Tomatoes to get into with you. I also want to kind of get your thought on some of the females that are favored for the Oscars this year.
Really? Already? We're already there? I feel like the strike was just a nap time, so I'm waking up.
I have a theory. I'm going to tweak your mic just a little there, which is I have a betting strategy.
Okay.
And I got burned already. So, but we'll keep that in mind. I'll put that on the back burner for now.
Well, aren't there always two categories? The ones that you just bet on because it seems appropriate that they will win versus the people you actually like the most? I mean, aren't we?
I have a new category now.
Okay.
So, fresh off the heels of Kimmel's going to host for a fourth time.
Yes.
So I'll be a part of that. I mean, you must have been to the Oscars quite a few times, right?
I've never been.
What?
I know. That is the one award show I have never been to.
But you were with Scorsese for many years, right?
I don't think I ever went to the Oscars with him, no.
But if you're with him for a number of years,
well, for whatever,
and he goes to the Oscars,
yeah. Maybe it didn't you're asking me to go back a very long time. I don't, but the answer is no, I didn't, and maybe it was because I was working or not.
I bet that's what it is, because
maybe it didn't correspond.
Okay.
The year, I can't really remember.
But you've never been?
No, I've never been. In fact, the one year that I actually was going to go was with my grandfather, Melvyn Douglas, and then he got sick and he couldn't go, and he actually did win that year. But
what? I mean, your grandfather's a famous actor.
Melvyn Douglas for being there, the movie being there.
Oh, he was nominated for being there.
Yes, and he won.
As a supporting actor?
Best supporting actor. Most people remember it if you're a Robert Duvall fan. He beat out Robert Duvall for Apocalypse Now. And some people are anti that, but not me, because he's my grandfather.
So
it's a better performance.
Chauncey Gardner. People should see being there. It doesn't get...
It's amazing.
It doesn't get spins on cable for some reason. I can't figure out for the life of me how they work that out. But there are certain movies that are just great.
Yes.
Sometimes smaller, but just great movies, and they never pop up. Like I was just thinking about, Lost in America. There's a great Albert Brooks. It's just a great comedy. Doesn't make the rounds. Like it just doesn't pop up. Breaking Away, another great medium to small size film. But these are great movies, and they just but it's whatever. Happy Madison production, whatever. Just pop. It just keeps going, and then sometimes there's weird deep cuts of movies that you never want to see them, and I don't know if it's a thing where it's like copyright or someone owns it or something, but they're
distribution.
Being there would be Peter Sellers, great film. Your grandfather nominated. Mm-hmm. Everyone agrees that's a great film. It gets kind of quoted a lot. Not dialogue from the film, but people go, "Oh, Joe Biden's doing a Chauncey Gardner. He's just there. He doesn't really know where he is. He's not the. Everyone thinks he's the expert, but he's not the expert. Never shows up."
It's referenced. It's referenced a lot. Yeah.
Yes. So your grandfather, at what age wins?
That was his second Oscar.
Second.
His first Oscar he won for the movie HUD with Paul Newman. So he was 63 when he won that one. Supporting actor. And then 81 for being there.
Wow. And he wins that, but he's old and feeble, or what?
He wasn't
just
feeble,
sick.
But he wasn't well, and so he didn't go to the Oscars that year. And then the following year he did a movie which he actually did get sick on the movie. It was everybody gets sick on the movie called Ghost Story. Mm-hmm. It's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
It was like that unfortunate curse, where actors usually their last movie tends to be something that's not very good. Like Being There really should have been his last movie, but instead it's Ghost Story, where he's running around the snow with Fred Astaire and John Houseman and getting scared by...
So in 81, what are you're thinking about acting, right?
Oh, no, I was visiting him on the set, yeah.
Yeah, you want to act in 81.
Yes.
But you're not employed.
No, I was a kid. I was like going to school.
Right, but you got bit by the bug.
Yeah, well, I very much wanted to be an actor from when I was a little kid, just because I knew my grandfather was an actor, and having, grown up in Connecticut, and we were sort of the hippie family. Once I figured out that my grandfather was a famous actor, I was just like, well, screw this hippie life. I want to be,
So I had the
room
hippie
service and
yeah. Well, they wanted it too. They just can't figure out how to make money, so then they announce it's bad. So it's basically, you can do that with a lifestyle. You can't really do it with a car.
In my first book, which was called I Blame Dennis Hopper, which was that my parents saw the movie Easy Rider and then they dropped out and became hippies. I had a photograph. My grandfather lived on the Upper West Side in New York, and he actually would write on a piece of paper, "Okay to charge, Melvyn Douglas." And I would walk downstairs and go to Zabar's, and they would give me everything I wanted. And just with just his signature.
Is Zabar's a department store or
it's a food
restaurant?
It's a food store on the Upper West Side.
Yeah.
But, so once I had that bug, that was the bug I had. The food, you can eat whatever you want, anytime you want bug. That's what I had. But I wanted to be an actor.
So I had the hippie parents too. But it was really more hippie mom, and this dad was just sort of low energy. He was kind of de facto hippie.
They were hook. My parents were hook, line, and sinker. It was a lifestyle.
Right. So then how much of that lifestyle is narcissism versus hippieism? Because I have a couple of theories, just because I've experienced it. One is, nobody really wants all the commitments of life. Like, nobody really wants to pay for kids' orthodonture and pick them up and drop them off and sit in the grandstands and watch endless soccer games and ruining Saturdays and Sundays. And
we didn't even get that far. Like, this all happened when I was about 6. So.
Right. I'm saying, yeah, okay. But nobody wants that. So the early hippie movement is like, kids, free to be free, meant free for you to leave and us not to pay for shit. Yeah. That's kind of the way I took it, as a bunch of kind of semi-lazy narcissists who didn't really want to do all that life required, but didn't want to label themselves as lazy narcissists, so they found a label, which is hippie.
And it made them righteous.
And now it's like, hey, man, I'm living off the land, man. Yeah. You're a stooge putting a suit on, going to work for the man. Right, but we don't have any money, and we don't have stuff, and we can't go anywhere or do anything. It's like, yeah, because I'm in touch. I'm living like an Indian, bro. And it's like, no, you're forcing us to live this horrible lifestyle as well, and I didn't sign off on it. I want the note from Grandpappy saying, eat.
Yeah. Well, I certainly felt that way growing up in Connecticut, that it was a lifestyle that we had chosen to live. All my friends had dolls and toys and bikes and musical instruments, and we didn't have any of that stuff, so I had to figure out a way. I think that's why I was so driven. I wanted to get into showbiz really, really quickly so I could start making money. And when I was a kid, I was also very entrepreneurial. So, like, my parents had chickens and things like that, and I would, all the animal hippie stuff. And I would go in and steal eggs from the chicken coop and, go around and sell them to various people around them. So it was very entrepreneurial. My dream was to get out of Connecticut and go to New York and live with my grandfather and be around all the people that my grandfather was around. Because it was great. Every time I'd visit him, it'd be movie stars there, and that's who I wanted to be around.
You must get recognized a lot, but I don't know if everyone knows your name, but they know you must get recognized a lot.
I get people do know my name, I guess, because it's
I
an
didn't mean
unusual
to
name.
imply they didn't. Sorry. I just mean I think people spot you in an airport and go, ooh, that I know her.
Well, they see me, and then as soon as I talk, they go, I knew it was you. That's what they always say. I knew it was you. And then they have various, if somebody has blue hair, I know it's going to be, Ghost Story. If someone's Italian, it'll most likely be Goodfellas. So, you sort of get to know that, kind of the different people that are fans.
Let me ask you this as a woman.
Uh-oh. All right. Now I'm really scared, Adam. Okay. Shoot.
It's not as deep as you'd think,
okay,
but it's weighing heavily upon me.
Uh-oh. Okay.
A couple hours ago, I got a haircut.
Yes.
And I went to what I always do, which is whatever. It has to end in the word clips, and it has to be under $22. And I usually have to be able to walk there from my house, but I will walk. I took a walk today.
Okay.
And at the end of the walk, I end up at Sports Clips in La Cañada. Oh, no. Super Clips. There's a Sports Clips. There's like a Mega Clips. There's a Neighborhood Clips. It's just, if it ends in the word clips, or in terms of lodging, hotels, if it ends in the word airport.
Yes.
That's where I end up staying. Because I'm trying to save dough.
Why?
So, that
must be a childhood thing.
No, it's not. What it is there's no difference for me. An $80 haircut or an $18 haircut, it's the same haircut.
Okay.
The shears come out, and they just start buzzing it.
Okay.
That's it. I did this once. I got Molly Ringwald's celebrity hairdresser way back in the day to give me $100 haircut, only because I did $100 worth of work to his house. I replaced his water heater in like 1989, and I said, I just did $100 worth of work for you at your home as a former carpenter. I want to know what a $100 haircut looks like. He gave me a $100 haircut, like from 1989. And when it was done, he sort of looked back, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he went, your hair's really not worth it. Like, he just kind of went, he threw in the towel. He admitted it before I did. I was like, I want my fucking water heater back, that asshole.
Pay you.
So,
yes.
Okay, so you can't fuck up my hair, or you can, but it doesn't matter. It's not about price. So I walked in. One woman is cutting hair. She's working on a woman, by the way, and she looks nowhere near done because the woman has long hair, and she's got the potato chip clips up in there, pulling whole parcels of her hair out of the way and working on other quadrants, And there's 4 people waiting. And heavy set-ish woman, youngish woman, pulls up behind the counter, and I go, oh boy, I'm checking in. I go, how long is this wait? Because I see 4 people here. There's only one person cutting hair, and there's one in the chair. And I'm about ready to take another few spins around the block before I come back in. I'm going to put my name in. So I said, how long is the wait? And she said, well, all these people are waiting for the one person.
Okay.
But if you want to get your hair cut right now and you want me to do it, we'll do it right now. Again, this is part of the liberation of having crap hair that can be shorn like a sheep. I said, of course, you can do it. Anyone can do it. Your sister can do it without a license. She can get drunk and high and do my hair. Like, let's do it. So we just went and sat down. But then I started thinking about her. Mm-hmm. She's working at this place.
Yeah.
The other chick's in demand. She's just hanging around, and all these people are waiting an hour and a half just to get with her cohort, who gets paid the same, I guess. I mean, everyone's getting, $22 an hour or whatever it is. I didn't have the heart to ask her, like, do you feel horrible? Is this bad? Can we step up your game? How did word get out? What'd you do? Did you stab someone with scissors? Like, I felt bad for her.
Uh-huh.
Do you feel bad for her?
No.
Why not?
Well, because again, maybe she had some specialty. First of all, that the other person doesn't have. I mean, women's hair is
there's teenage dudes. This place ends in the word clips. There's teenage dudes sitting, waiting. There's all dudes waiting, just the one chick in the chair.
Oh. Well, if somebody
has a specialty, she doesn't have a specialty.
Well, I was trying to be nice to her.
I know. Yeah. I know.
Give her some credit. No. All I know is if you find a person who cuts your hair really well, then it's worth it. I always but hair is very important.
Ostensibly, the girl who saw me, the no waiting chick, also cuts other people's hair. Where's her line?
Wait, I have to change the subject. I have to ask, because I'm a little bit of a baseball fan. Mm-hmm. What's the deal with the haircut in baseball this year, where everybody had the shaved on the side, and they sort of had a modified mullet? Was that?
Oh yeah.
That fascinated me, because I didn't see anything in a magazine about that look coming back. And I like sports, but not a single announcer ever talked about the fact that everybody had really crazy hair this year, all the baseball players. Some years it's a mustache.
I have a theory.
Okay, so tell me what the hell that hair was about. It was not. I didn't study attractive.
I didn't study it, but baseball is a sport that has tons of downtime.
Okay.
Football is a sport that has almost no downtime.
Okay.
Football is all action, and then when they go to the sidelines, guys are either sucking off an oxygen mask and or looking at a tablet with some defensive coordinator like yelling at them, like pointing at stuff. Everyone's like all busy all the time. Baseball is so slow, so boring, and so nothing to do that guys pick up weird rituals and habits and trends. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they're just sitting there and they're like, I'm going to make a pyramid out of these sunflower seed husks because I got nothing to do. First off, half the people in the dugout aren't playing that day.
Yeah.
This guy's a relief pitcher. He's not playing this day, or a starter. He's not playing that day. This guy's the third baseman's coach, but their team's not up. A lot of fat to be trimmed. And so a lot of superstition and a lot of downtime.
Right.
So they grow beards. And then they go, hey, you're on a hot streak and you just grew that Dan Haggerty beard. Maybe I should grow my beard out.
Right.
And there's lots. And also, they don't have the diversity of hair that the NFL has. NFL's got more brothers in it. You know what I mean? Hair. They can't monkey with the hair as much. The one advantage we have on the brothers is they can't really pull off the mullet. Uh-huh. That's about the only. That's about the only aesthetic advantage the white man has.
We've exhausted the hair issue, baseball, but anyway, you sort of answered it for me.
But you don't feel bad for the one woman who has to stare at the line of people waiting to get into this seat and not wanting her.
No, maybe it's a motivator.
Yeah, tough love.
Why? Yeah, wouldn't I mean?
But you also have to think she's thinking that. She's had to have noticed that her coworker's getting all the work. So it would be hard for me not to imagine what she's thinking.
Also, I mean it. One dude was just a middle-aged guy, but then there was like a 14-year-old dude in there. I'm like, you have these kinds of, well-represented thoughts about who cuts your hair at this tender age? I don't trust that kid, by the way. All right, here's something interesting.
Yes.
And then we'll get back to the book. Don't worry.
No, I'm ready. I'm waiting for I'm here.
Deductive reasoning.
Uh-oh, you lost me. I'm an actress.
You gotta have deductive reasoning.
What the hell does that mean? Okay.
You have to think. Everybody has to think now because, they do the misinformation and the disinformation. You're going to hear a million kooky stories all the time. Mm-hmm. And you have to be, deductive. Like the one I always rail about is 4 months ago. It's like, hey, a bunch of 17-year-old high school kids on vacation in Maui ran down a bunch of porpoises and cornered them on the beach. And I'm like, high school kids can't swim and catch up to a porpoise if a porpoise doesn't want to be bothered. They were hassling the porpoise. If you're hassling a porpoise, they're gone. They swim at 30 miles an hour. You swim at 4 miles an hour. It's impossible. So know it. Use your deductive reasoning. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So you're saying these stories come to the surface and they may or may not be true? Is that what you're saying?
There's shades.
There is a reason.
Because I believe that.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Some of them may or may not be true.
To me, it's like telephone, where you'll read about a story, it disappears, and then it floats back to the surface like message in a bottle, like
or
a month
dead
later.
Porpoise.
Yeah.
All right. Some are true and not true. Others are just explanations. Mm-hmm. So somebody tweeted me over the weekend. They were like, in your book, and I think it was Daddy Stop Talking. One of my books, I announced that Jay Leno would die in a steam car accident. And then... Well, I think we can play. I'll play a clip of the audiobook. But this isn't the deductive reasoning.
Oh, okay.
So I've filled my warehouse with rare and vintage cars. And guess what? You're not getting any of them. I want you to have that hunger, too. I want you to want cars. More importantly, I don't want you to think you can get something for nothing. I took you guys to a warehouse full of cars once and didn't like what I saw. Not one bit. The day after Thanksgiving in 2014... I brought you to the garage of my old friend, Mr. Jay Leno, who tragically died in a steam car accident in 2047. Do you remember walking around his hangar? So I used to make this joke about Leno dying in a steam car accident. And then he almost died in a steam car accident. So then, here's the deductive reasoning part. I was sitting next to Dr. Drew this morning, and I was doing a podcast, and I brought up the Jay Leno steam car accident.
Yes.
I will play you his response. He was living up to every stereotypical image you've ever seen of him in tabloids. All right. Yeah. Well, he almost died in a steam.
I know what happened. I didn't hear about it. What happened? Honestly.
This is impossible, Drew.
I know he flipped around in the Hemi underglass.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear about the steam engine accident.
You didn't hear about him being horribly burned on his face? Oh, Drew, you did.
Okay.
Sorry. This is
maybe.
This is the beginning of your demise.
Okay, maybe. Maybe.
He dominated the news.
I wonder where I was.
A year ago?
Oh my goodness. Wowie.
What was it? Has it been a year? Has it been over a year? He got horribly burned in a steam accident.
My goodness. Ugh, what happened?
It's been exactly 1 year, November 15th of last year.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. But wow. What was the accident? I for sure don't know that.
I'm finding this impossible. You could have been out of the country.
I was in Portugal last year in November.
See what I know, Drew?
Yeah.
You see what I know?
Yeah.
Well, now you got to figure out when you were in.
Do you want me to look at my phone?
I do want you to look at your phone because there's only one explanation.
Yeah.
You were out of the country.
Yeah.
Right?
That sounds like what happened.
Well, how did I know you're out of the country?
Because it must have dominated so much that I couldn't have been here. And, I'm gone. I'll tell you where I am on those days. It just says in Europe, out of the country.
When did you go? From when to when? And by the way, you can access that in your phone that fast?
Yeah.
I could never find that.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at my calendar.
Look at you.
So I'm gone from like the 11th to the
November
11th to the 25th.
So this is right in the middle.
Yeah.
All right. That's how I missed in the it. Middle. All right. Yeah. So by the way, it's been a year. Has it been a year? That's crazy.
Yes, a whole year.
Time is pow. We're done. It's over. All right. So Dr. Drew follows the feeds, reads the news, does a podcast, and it's inconceivable to me that he just missed it. So I can't wrap my mind around it that he's just missed it. And it's bothering me for about a minute and a half. And then I deduce he must have been out of the country.
Right.
Which you can do if you're sort of into deducing.
Right.
And then I knew he must have been, he was literally at sea. I think he was on a cruise. But I don't follow his schedule, and I don't know when he's in and out of the country. But there's only one explanation to him not knowing the story, and it's him physically being off of the grid in our continent.
Yes.
And that's how you can arrive at things if you use deduction, because there are no other alternatives to him just missing the story.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I agree, but I don't watch the news that much.
But you knew about Leno.
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
Because you are in the country.
Well, certain things, again, it's unavoidable. There are things I know about people that I don't want to know. You know, like they churn their own butter and they raise goats. And I'm like, I don't even care. But it's in your, and I know that, Steve Gutenberg likes to do motivational videos. You can't. So things enter your.
It's not avoidable. Is what you're saying.
They enter your biosphere and you're like, okay,
wait a minute.
Now I know this. And
I know the Goot. I didn't know he does motivational videos.
Wait a minute. Were you out of the country?
I was in Spain.
How do you not know? Steve Gutenberg does motivational videos.
Does anyone else know that?
I didn't know that.
And he talks about his friend all the time, the bodybuilder, and the
Body by Jake.
Yeah, they have dinner. It's like, and again, he's unavoidable. He's somehow
like Oprah and
whatever
Gail.
My metric is in life. I'm like, oh my God, yet another. I'm always getting things for rescued dogs and Steve Gutenberg again.
How
it's like
is
he's on
using your
Steve
algorithm.
Gutenberg finding you in his motivational message?
You tell me. You tell me. Every time I'm in certain things.
Yeah, I'm getting Taylor Swift. She's getting Steve Gutenberg.
So certain things, I'm like, there he is again.
Wow.
So it's the same kind of a thing. Like you said, once you, I don't know, who knows? They're all listening to us. I have no idea.
By the way, in the pantheon of the movies that do not get the rotations and the spins on cable, I would add Steve Gutenberg's Diner.
Definitely.
To that.
Absolutely.
Diner, Breaking Away. These are the same size types of movies, very well written, with a cast of notable people in them, could easily show up once in a while.
Definitely.
And never
I love
does.
Diner.
Yeah.
Diner is where I first heard about the movie Sweet Smell of Success, because they were quoting from The Sweet Smell of Success, and the character was obsessed with it. And and then that's how you find a movie sometimes. You go, what is that movie they keep quoting from? And it was Sweet Smell of Success, and then I became obsessed with that film.
So the book was sort of inspired by your life, but also by COVID, is that right?
It was. It had started in COVID as, again, just a coping mechanism to write about home. My family was in Connecticut. I really missed my family. And I had this thesis, this idea that Connecticut was always this kind of this unseen character in films, that there were many avenues to go down. And then as I started writing the book, as I said, about all of these films where people get out of the rat race and they go to Connecticut and they change their life and they're transformational. I was like, oh my God, it's happening to me. I was writing about this.
Right.
And that same overwhelming feelings started to happen to me. I'm like, I always wanted to fix up a farmhouse. I mean, there's a certain majority of the population that their dream is to fix up an old farmhouse. And whether that's from the movies or whether that is in our pioneer spirit, I don't know. But that was something all my life I wanted to do that. But I thought, well, I can't do that. I live in L.A. and I'm an actor and I can't leave L.A. But COVID had that reset button for a lot of us that I thought this opportunity became aware. This realtor, completely unbeknownst to her, sent me a house. And it was 2 minutes from my mother's house. She had no idea about that. And I knew the house. I'd grown up in the house. I played with the children who, were there. I had all these memories associated with the house. But the one caveat was it had fallen. It had been abandoned for 6 years. So it had really, I know you're laughing.
It sounds like a Steve Gutenberg motivational tale to me. You stepped up.
It was a lot of property. It was everything I didn't want. I wanted a small house, and this was a barn and acreage and a lot bigger than but I thought, I can do this. Let me do this. Because I had this romantic idea that I could do this. Now I moved in and it was a complete disaster, but going through the fixing up of the house, and I'm only on stage 3, has been an amazing experience, and I've really liked it. And I've used a lot of my movie experience dealing with all the different contractors in Connecticut. Although one time I did have a sit down with one of the contractors trying to explain to him how the movie business works. I said, this would not work in the movie business. I was trying to explain to him that in the movie business you have a budget and you have that budget and you don't go over the budget. Like the person doesn't come back to you 3 times, 4 times, 5 times and say, lumber is this and
right.
This, that, and the other. So anyway, that led to an ending of a
relationship.
I fired him. That's what I.
Well, listen, I used to be in the trades. Most of these guys are flaky, and there's a reason why they're doing what they're doing. Some aren't, but most. It's a default.
I dealt with like 40 to maybe 50 different people, and out of that, I had 3 bad ones.
Oh, that's a good ratio.
Yeah.
I think it's a worse ratio out in L.A. Maybe you got the salt of the earth contractors.
I got some really, really good ones, but you did have to start from ground zero because I don't live in Connecticut. So I did have to overcome you're from Hollywood, huh? When I could see the price going up and up and up.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a lot of that. I had a lot of they could see me coming, and I had
blue-haired girl said you were in Ghost Story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What movie is Connecticut most proud of?
Well, there's 100. I write about 100 films in the book. I would say, as far as the myth of Connecticut, it's Mr. Blanding's Build His Dream House, because it really created this myth of suburbia, and what we all think of as suburbia came from that one movie. And it's actually based on a real writer named Eric Hodgins who lived in New Milford, and it's a real house, and he really did fix up the house, and he really did go bankrupt, building his dream house. And to me, no other movie captures the sort of the foibles of trying, of fixing up your own house. On the other side, for me personally, the one that we should be the most proud of is Gentleman's Agreement, Elia Kazan movie, which is about anti-Semitism in Darien. It's a superb film. It's what they used to call message films. People don't call them that anymore. It's sort of an old-fashioned term, but I actually really like the term because it is a message, and it's about anti-Semitism and what they call covenants or private gentlemen's agreements to keep Jews out of Darien, and it was all
keep them out of where?
Out of Darien, Connecticut.
Oh, okay, sorry, wasn't sure where that was.
The premise of the film is that Gregory Peck is playing a writer whose name is Phil Green, and he goes undercover and he pretends he's Jewish. He goes by the name Phil Greenberg to write about the story, and he meets a woman and he falls in love with her, and she's from Darien. And when he's going to go home to meet her sister, she says, "Could you just tell them that it's not really?" That's where everything starts to crack. She believes in his story, she believes in the premise, but she says it's just going to make me really comfortable because they're, it's Darien, and just would you tell them you're not really Jewish? Mm-hmm. And then that's where it starts to crack, this idea that even people who say they believe in a noble cause, when it comes right down to it, have their own biases. And,
yes.
And it's a really terrific movie.
What year is it from?
1947.
But she's also talking about like Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yes.
It's in there.
But you're going to have to go a little more contemporary because we're going to play Rotten Tomatoes.
I know.
You're going to have to guess on some of these movies that aren't in black and white.
I know.
Talkies.
Talkies.
Yeah, we're going talkies.
So. Okay. Right. And also I want to get your take on Best Actress odds because I got an idea. Yeah. Illeana Douglas is here. We'll take a quick break. Be back. Play the Rotten Tomatoes right after this. BetterHelp. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Well, it's the time of the year when, a lot of people are struggling these days. Family, holiday, lots of memories coming up around the holidays, seeing family members where maybe there's a little bit of tension from the past, all the stress, It can change a person. Therapy can make you feel grounded, give you the tools to manage everything that's going on around you, and that's a lot in your world and the world at large. I've always been a big fan and proponent of therapy. That's where I come from. I always believe you get your head right, and other things seem to kind of fall in line. So it's an investment in everything in your life. And BetterHelp is convenient and flexible. Just fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. It's BetterHelp, right, Dawson?
Find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Carolla today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Carolla. The Adam Carolla Show presents Illeana Douglas's birthday cocktail party for July 25th. Let's see who's invited. Let's welcome the King of the Scots, James I. American General of the Continental Army and the first U.S. Secretary of War, Henry Knox is here. From the Los Angeles Rams, Woody Strode is here. English chemist and the co-discoverer of the structure of DNA, Rosalind Franklin, just joined the party. Let's welcome lynching victim and civil rights activist, Emmett Till. Hall of Famer Walter Payton just walked in. Let's welcome friend Matt LeBlanc. And if you threw a party and invited everyone you knew, you will see the greatest gift will be from her. Golden Girl, Estelle Getty. Illeana Douglas is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Illeana's book, Connecticut, and you can buy it right now, by the way, in the movies, From Dream Houses to Dark Suburbia. It's a beautiful, big coffee table book, so go and appreciate that. We got the game to play. I'm not in the business of handing out betting tips, but I'm going to make some money this Oscar season.
Okay.
You missed out.
Like
a few years ago, right?
I got burned very badly when I was watching football with all the boys. Man, it's been 13 years ago, or maybe more. I can't remember. But it was, I had this idea, and I think it was Inglourious Bastards, I think. But it could have been Django.
It might have been Django, yeah.
Could have been Django.
I think it was Django.
Well, now we got to see Christoph Waltz, what year he won. But I saw Inglourious. I think it was Django. Could have been. It was Inglourious Bastards. Anyway, I saw that movie. What year did he?
2010. He won for Inglourious Bastards. 2013.
Was that what I said, or were you trying to talk me into Django?
I said I think it was Django.
Okay. Don't do that. It's Inglourious Bastards, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Did he win?
Well, was it?
He won both.
Oh, he won both
Yeah.
years. Oh! I didn't. Sorry, you said
okay.
Inglourious Bastards. He won 2 years almost in a row.
No.
3 year apart.
3 years apart.
Yeah, 2010 and 2013.
Are you sure?
Oh, well, that's only.
I thought he was nominated, but maybe didn't.
He wins in 2010, then he doesn't 11 or 12, and then again he wins in 13.
Yes.
This, oh, God, and then which one was first? Inglourious Bastards, right?
Yes, in 2010.
I think it was Inglourious Bastards. Pretty sure.
I still think it was Django.
Oh, it could have been Django. I don't know. I'll have to ask Santora. Anyway, great writer. Either way, it'll work because I said to him, man, I just saw Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Bastards or Django. Doesn't matter. And I was like, he was, 18-1 odds or something at the time. I was like, this guy was magnificent. I think it was Inglourious Bastards because I said he's speaking 2 languages and stuff. This guy's, he's acting in German. He's acting in English. It's unbelievable. There's no way he's not going to win Best Supporting Actor. There's just no way. And then Nick, who makes a lot of movies and lots of TV, explains to me why he's not going to win.
2013. This bet.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was that Inglourious Bastards?
Nope, it's Django.
It's Django.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's 2013.
I do.
How do we confirm that?
Because I'm looking at a 2013 podcast where you follow up on the odds of Christoph Waltz.
Yeah. All right. So you're correct.
Sure am.
All right. Good for you.
I know.
It
doesn't feel good.
I'm convinced he's going to win. He talks me out of it. Says there's way too much violence. Too much violence. Hollywood's not going to go for this. I said he was a tour de force. He was like 18-1. I said I just want to put $1,000 down on him. I think he was like 26-1. I said I'm just going to put $1,000 down. I'm going to win $25,000. He said don't do it. Trust me. Then he wins. I get nothing. All right. This year I got a lock.
Okay.
I waited all that time for you to say okay. I shouldn't have waited. This year I have a lock because
the best actress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know who you're going to say.
Who?
You're going to say Lily Gladstone,
That's right.
from Killers.
That's
and I haven't
right.
even seen the movie.
Illeana
That's
has
right.
a lock.
That's right.
I would say it's a lock.
It's a lock.
I haven't even seen the movie or any movies.
Why do you say it's a lock?
Because for the same reason as Steve Guttenberg, it's in my loop. I'm already pre-programmed for her to win.
She is an American Indian, and she knocked it out of the ballpark.
Yes.
But Hollywood now is working hard in terms of inclusion and, being black, being Hispanic, that's all fine. But that ain't an American Indian. This is good. They love themselves some diversity. And she kicked ass.
Yes.
And she's a little heavy set. So she's got there's 2 boxes to check, and there's no way she's not going to win. There's just no way.
I concur. She probably did give a great. I haven't seen the film yet, but
I have. She gave a great performance.
Yeah. So
right.
But
ostensibly everybody in the Best Actress.
Who are some of the other people?
Emma Stone for something called Poor Things, which I haven't seen.
Haven't heard it.
Fantasia Barrino, The Color Purple, Carey Mulligan, Maestro.
For Maestro, should be nominated.
Yeah. Everyone that gets nominated is going to be excellent, but they're not going to be American Indian, and that's what's going to seal the deal.
That's the X
how I'm
factor?
getting rich. That's the X factor.
Yeah.
That's why you bet. I may go big. I may go 10 grand.
The Academy, and it's just the way it is, has taken upon itself to. It used to be the best. When my grandfather was acting, it was based solely on your performance. Otherwise, Beatrice Straight wouldn't have won for Network for 4 minutes on the screen. Like that would never happen now. So and I'm a member of the Academy, and it's very much part of the voting to be, to factor in
diversity.
All of the above.
All of the above. That's why I'm locking it in.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 10. Large.
I think that's a very, very good bet.
Text the Goot, see if he thinks that. Just if he gives the thumbs up emoji, I'm going ahead with this.
Yeah.
All right. I know you got a heart out because you're doing a book signing, so we got to get into this. Get your pen ready.
Okay.
Don't show me. It's the critics, the number you think the critics gave the movie.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Do I have to say it out loud or just write it?
Write it.
Write it first, and then we'll go over this course.
Pressure.
And the gang makes their picks, guessing if it's rotten or fresh. If they guess it exactly, we'll get a bonus 5. It's the Rotten Tomatoes game.
All right, so with over 120 acting credits, today's guest is no stranger to the big screen. So today we're going to take a look at the movies featuring Illeana Douglas.
Uh-oh. That's trouble.
First up, a beautiful but naive aspiring television personality films a documentary on teenagers with a darker ulterior motive. Directed by Gus Van Sant, also starring Nicole Kidman, Matt Dillon, Joaquin Phoenix, and Casey Affleck from 1995, To Die For.
Oh, I don't even know if I've seen this one.
Illeana, I don't think she even was able to place it by the description.
No, it didn't sound remotely.
That's a stacked cast,
okay.
Yeah.
by the way. I didn't see this one.
I'm going to give it.
Hold on, don't say it. Don't.
No, I'm not. I'm just writing it down.
I don't even want to look at what you're writing down.
Okay.
Gus Van Sant, great. It's an all-star cast.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was the theme of the movie?
It is a naive aspiring television personality films a documentary on teenagers with a darker ulterior motive.
Wow, that is
I wonder if I've seen
not an accurate description, but that's okay.
It's not.
That's so funny.
How would you describe the movie?
I would describe it as a satirical look at fame in America.
All right.
And a woman willing to go to any lengths in order to be famous. That's what the movie is really about.
Well, people love Gus, and it's an all-star cast.
Yeah.
You got your number locked in?
I do.
I say 78.
I say 85.
To Die For is certified fresh at 89%.
Ooh, that was pretty
Nice.
close.
All right.
Close.
You're off to a lead.
Okay.
Next up, a young advertising executive's life becomes increasingly complicated when, in order to impress her boss, she pretends to be engaged to a man she has just met. This stars Jennifer Aniston, Jay Moore, and Kevin Bacon from 1997. Picture Perfect.
That sound like a decent description?
Yeah, I can go with that.
All right. This is rom-commy stuff.
You've worked with Jay Moore a few times, right?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did a show together.
Yeah, you did action.
Yeah.
I heard that Jay Moore wasn't happy with this movie because of the way Jennifer Aniston treated him. He said he called his mom crying. I think he wrote about it in his book. Did you feel like any sort of animosity on set?
He was not. He was the director, who's also a really good friend of mine, Glenn Goran Karen, creator of Moonlighting, amazing guy. Glenn wanted Jay, and the studio and Jen wanted somebody else. Well, I won't say who that somebody else was.
Why? It's not their fault.
I don't want to say.
Well, you're not going to get into trouble. It's like he wasn't there. He didn't do anything.
Nice
Come on,
guy.
we're going.
Anyway,
but he can't be a nice guy.
He didn't get the part, and Jay did get the part, and so there was a little bit of.
All right, but who was the other person?
Cannot tell you.
Why? They have nothing to do with the process.
Out of respect.
Out of respect for Jay?
No, for the other actor.
Except the other actor didn't do anything.
I'm not going to tell you. It's over.
But I don't get the close to the vest stuff. It drives me nuts. What the other guy didn't do anything. He just they wanted him, but he didn't get the role, right?
Yeah,
but why does that reflect on him in any negative kind of way?
Well, I'm of the opinion that I wouldn't, if I lost out a part, I wouldn't, But anyway, the point
you wouldn't
is.
Want him talking about you?
I want to answer his question. The point is.
I hate when people do this, but go ahead. I'm now soured, but go ahead.
It
drives me nuts.
Is that it he felt as if he was always, second banana because he knew he was not the first choice for the role. But we became friends on the movie because I felt really bad for him. Mm-hmm. So I
was the other guy Steve Guttenberg?
No. In fact, that's sort of how I bonded with Jay, was because I sort of went out of my way then because things were a little uneven on the set. So I was the peacemaker. And
you probably did that a lot in school, huh? Just like the kid that was maybe getting bullied or something. You went up to him like, "Hey, it's gonna be okay."
Yeah, a little bit. But and Jay always appreciated it. So years later, when I was in the running, and I was balanced against somebody else for a part in the television show, he really went to bat for me and wanted me.
We love Jay. So.
Yeah.
All right.
I love Jay too. I love everybody.
Another movie.
You do?
Yeah.
Yes. It's
even
free.
that person, his name you forgot?
Come on.
Drives me nuts when people do that.
Watch it. What if I said his name and then tomorrow he died of a heart attack or something?
A steam car accident.
But it doesn't reflect on him in any way, shape, or form.
It does.
Would you care if I said it?
Angry. Yeah, you tell us.
Because it's findable.
What?
It's findable.
Is it
outed by
findable?
the internet. What's this fella's name?
It was Jennifer Aniston's boyfriend at the time.
Oh, who's that?
Tate Donovan.
See? You can't outrun the internet. You can't outrun the internet.
He's going to be on my loop now.
You didn't say it. You didn't say it. You
didn't say it. You didn't say it.
Tate, come at me.
All right. I don't remember what movie we're talking about.
Picture Perfect.
All right. They're tough on rom-coms.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 58.
Ooh, 58. I said 70.
All right.
Picture Perfect is rotten at 47%.
Whoa.
Back in the hunt.
Wow.
Here we go.
A convicted rapist released from prison after serving a 14-year sentence stalks the family of the lawyer who originally defended him. A remake from the 1962 film of the same name. This one directed by Martin Scorsese and starring De Niro, Nick Nolte, Juliette Lewis, and Gregory Peck in his final theatrical role.
Oh.
From 1991, Cape Fear.
Saw it in the theater and enjoyed it. Very dark. It had a lot of heat because it was sinister. Like, it was so dark,
It was.
And it was good, but I don't know. Also that Scorsese's problem is he makes a masterpiece, and then the next movie comes out, they go, it's not as good as the masterpiece was, and sometimes they can be tough on it. Or if it was like maybe a first-time director, they'd go, oh, it's great, but Scorsese carved out his own niche, and now they compare Scorsese to Scorsese when he makes films.
Yeah, although Cape Fear at the time was his highest money-making film.
Really?
Yep. Much more than Goodfellas.
Really?
Yeah, and Goodfellas was like a sleeper, huh?
Yeah. Well, this movie was everywhere. Like, they really got behind it.
Yeah, they did.
It was the De Niro character and everything.
Yeah.
I think they liked it, but did they love it? And that's,
I have my.
Are you in?
Yeah.
You got your number down?
Yeah.
82.
Oh, you went higher than me. I went 78.
Cape Fear is certified fresh at 75%.
Ooh, we got a tough. This is a game.
This is tough.
It's on. It's tight.
Pretty tight.
A woman discovers a tragic love letter in a bottle on a beach, and is determined to track down its author. Co-starring Kevin Costner, Robin Wright, and Paul Newman from 1999, Message in a Bottle.
I didn't see this one. Did you get to work with Newman?
Only at the, Paul, he worked with my grandfather, obviously. And I used to see him all the time because he used to go weird. When I was at the neighborhood playhouse, he and Joanne Woodward would come and watch our scenes. It was always surreal.
Isn't Lime Rock over there, too? Probably over there.
In Connecticut?
For the racing.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
Lime
How
Rock
far is Lime Rock from that?
Probably about an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, so he was a Danbury guy?
Westport. But, so we only got to work together during the read-through. He was lovely.
Yeah, Danbury, Connecticut is where the Bob Sharp dealership was that then was the Newman Sharp who sponsored Newman and his racing at Lime Rock, blah, blah, blah. I've been through Lime Rock.
And, he was very much a part of the lit wallpaper, obviously, of Connecticut and Westport. And
yes.
Made two movies there, Rachel, and Effective Gamma Rays. Incredibly long title, both in that area.
All right, so Message in a Bottle, I have no idea. 99. Don't remember seeing it. It's a good cast.
Yeah.
More rom-com-y, kind of.
I know. I'm going low again.
They can tell me.
Okay.
They can be tough on the rom-coms.
Yeah.
All right, we in? I got 57.
I have 69.
You devil.
Message in a Bottle is rotten at 32%.
What?
Travesty.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, boy.
What's the audience?
Audience score is 66%.
Oh, you get your finger on the pulse of the man, the common man, the people.
Again, a huge money-making film.
Yeah.
So
Great cast, yeah.
Our final film.
all right.
After being hypnotized by his sister-in-law, a man begins seeing haunting visions of a girl's ghost, and a mystery begins to unfold around him, starring Kevin Bacon. Written and directed by David Kopp.
Kep.
David
Kep.
From 1999, Stir of Echoes.
Stir of Echoes. Hadn't seen it.
No, I know what you're
This
going
had
to
a
be doing
big
this
promotional
weekend.
push. I remember seeing like the posters
Yeah.
everywhere,
It was famous for coming out the week after the I See Dead People.
Oh, Sixth Sense.
So we got killed by.
Oh, that's why. So it got overshadowed by the Sixth
we got
Sense.
killed by that. But then, as the years have gone by, it's become a cult classic.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you remember it. You liked it. Cult
Loved it.
classic.
Loved it.
Loved it. Well, you know movies.
But I don't know about. But I'm as far as reviews. I don't know. I'm gonna again.
Tell me.
Okay.
I got a lead here.
Okay.
And so I gotta go down the middle. I gotta play it safe.
Yeah.
You gotta go bold because you gotta make up a few.
All right.
So you gotta go high or you gotta go low.
Yep.
I have no idea, but you like it. Mm-hmm. And it's cult status. I'll just go right at 60%.
I'm going 68. Okay. Took a risk.
Never gonna work.
We have a 5-point deduction.
Oh no.
Stir of Echoes is fresh at 68%.
Oh, wow. Yes. That could have been it.
0 points and a 5-point deduction. Could have been enough.
Are you ready for some scores?
That's so.
Did that help?
Oh well,
Did it happen? Much?
I was gonna go 50. I was gonna go right in the middle. Now
You said-
50, I would have.
You coached me because when you said go big, I went.
You went higher.
I went higher. It went a
68.
little high.
You
I
got
actually had a look.
She checks her movies every morning.
Okay.
too. I mean,
This could be tough now.
Yes.
Well, for the first time in a while, we have a tie.
Oh no!
she did need it.
We are all knotted up at 62, so here is our tiebreaker.
See, you got the exact number. That's the only way this could have happened.
Yeah.
A high school
There we
senior.
go.
Go ahead. Okay.
There we go.
All right. What is this? High school senior?
A high school senior branded uncool in the 9th grade gets himself expelled so he can change his image to cool kid at the town's other high school. Starring Eliza Dushku and Zoe Deschanel and DJ Qualls. From 2002, The New Guy.
What do you think?
Again, I do not wildly popular film. Again, I cannot tell you.
This is a huge film for my generation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I'm going to think it's probably the lowest rated. I don't want to give you too many clues. But again, talk about the disparity.
Yes.
More people, I can see them coming. And they're, new guy.
New
Like
guy.
that's the one they scream in an airport or something, you know.
All right.
But
all right, but rom-commy.
I'm again rom-commy. I'm gonna go. I have my
rom-commy high school comedy.
Yep.
They don't like these things.
Yep.
All right, Yan. It's important.
I know. Okay, ready.
37.
I'm going 30.
Ooh.
All right, well, I'll tell you the score, and that will give you who wins and who doesn't win the game. But I want to say congratulations to both of you because we will be giving out gold and silver medals. So both of you will medal.
Both podium.
You will podium today. Congratulations, Illeana. That was an incredible round. The new guy is rotten. Adam Carolla said 37. Illeana Douglas said 30. The win. Congratulations to the ace man. You are first runner-up. Oh, Illeana Douglas takes it because the new guy is rotten at 7.
7!
Single digit.
Oh, my.
That's a crime.
7! You know how hard it is to get to single digits? Wow.
I know. That's,
you should be proud.
I'm proud of it.
The audience had it at 54, by the way.
Yeah, man.
People love that
Huge movie.
Lyle Lovett is in the film.
Let me give you a plug. Connecticut in the movies.
After
from
that.
Dream Houses to Dark Suburbia. Snatched victory from the jaws of defeat at the very end of Rotten Tomatoes. You'll never see that. Illeana's off to a book signing.
Yes.
And come back, my dear, anytime you like.
Thank you.
Adam Ray in studio, and we'll do that news as well right after this. Blinds Galore Black Friday sale starts this week. Last big sale of the year. Everything 50% off. No better time to get the custom blinds you've always wanted. Visit blindsgalore.com today. Take 50% off of everything starting November 21st. 100% custom window treatments. Do it all right from your home. Just take the measurements and customize online. Blinds, shutters, drapes, motorized shades. I just put in, I have a few sets of those. I have in my house. Have them at the office, and now have them at the condo as well. You can control it with your phone, and they give you a little remote, too. I just use that. The stuff's great. Makes a huge difference in your home, especially during the summer. Keeps the heat out. In the winter, keeps the heat in. So if you have any questions, Blinds Galore's experts. They're experts at customer care, their team. Well, they've covered over 2 million windows, and they can help you every step of the way. Online or over the phone, it's Blinds Galore, right, Dawson?
Blinds Galore makes it easy to get the custom blinds and shades you've always wanted in your home, especially during their huge Black Friday sale, when you can save 50%. Go check out blindsgalore.com and let them know Adam sent you. That's blindsgalore.com. As we celebrate 14 years of podcasting, here's another memorable moment from the Adam Carolla Show's Ace Awards archives.
It's Friday night, and the mood is right for some sex or some fucking or just hanging out. But if you're doing the deed, make sure she's caught up to speed. That when she makes you feel good and gives you what you need, you're gonna wanna say thank you. You're gonna wanna high five. But all that comes out is that's the sound of a guy feeling great. I'm so sorry for that noise. I'm just trying to communicate how wonderful it feels, how spectacular you are. The feeling in my penis feels like I just want a car. You made me make a noise I never thought I'd make. For something so glorious, it sounds like a mistake.
Now, for some new memorable moments, let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Adam Ray in the studio. There's a movie called Love Virtually. It's available now on DVD. I should say VOD.
Man. But I'm sure you can find the DVD if you go to Times Square.
So,
hey, man, I got the
VOD and DVD. We're fucking ourselves just like push and pull. You know what I mean? There's too many of the same letters.
Too much.
And then there's 3, and I'm old. But VOD as we speak, and also live dates coming up. San Diego and DC, and you can go to AdamRayComedy.com. Tell me what you think of this, Ray.
Yeah.
This happened to me yesterday when I was coming home from Sacramento.
Great, fresh take. Love Sacramento.
Yeah, I love it too.
I heard you kicked it with my boy Nick Larson. You got some shots of you. Mm-hmm. That was very kind. Good guy.
The photographer.
Yes.
Yes, good dude.
Yes.
So
a lot of tats.
I was in the Sacramento airport, and I was
Great
airport. And I was going. I had about a half hour to kill. So I went to a kind of a bar, restaurant, or whatever, and there was a line to get in. And I walked in. I saw there was a line, and I didn't have that much time.
Right.
But I was like, I'm just going to get a beer at the bar.
Yeah.
Maybe the line is to eat, And
bar access should always be open. First come, first served seating.
I walked to the front of the line, and I said to the woman that was greeting everyone and holding the other 6 or 7 people back, I said, can I just go in and sit at the bar? And she went, you can. And then she yelled, Adam Carolla in the house to everyone who was waiting in line, and then walked me in.
Awesome.
As if I
wanted that.
As I just walked to the front and said, I'm taking all these people's tables.
Yeah.
I don't wait in line. My name is Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
So I didn't say anything to her. She just announced. She yelled to the line, Adam Carolla in the house, right?
Yeah. Now,
then I sat down, and then she came by, and now we're going to have to look this guy up just because it made me laugh. She came by and she said to me, wow, this is crazy. Yesterday, I have Marcus Allen in here, and today I get Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
And I go, Marcus Allen came in here? Marcus Allen.
Yeah.
Said, the guy's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, that guy's a legend.
Sure.
And she said, oh, not Marcus Allen, Mark S. Allen. And I said, who's Mark S. Allen? And she goes, he's a local news guy. And I said, okay, how?
Wow. She's really just the compliment.
How would I know?
Yeah.
How would I know?
Her misdirect is
Mark
great.
S. Allen.
Her comedic timing.
And actually, the real Marcus Allen doesn't appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah, quit mixing them up.
And number two.
How many airport mix-up is Marcus Allen?
Why would I know the local news guy known as Mark S. Allen?
Because you're Adam Carolla, you're in the house. She thought if she's going to go out of her way to give a big, hey, everyone look this way, that she's pointing to a guy that is, steadfast and privy to the newsmen of the world.
Yeah.
Could you name, quick tangent, can you name one local news guy not in L.A.?
No. Mark S. Allen.
Yeah, we can now.
I think I can now.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what she was doing. Maybe she heard a podcast at some point in the, past Carolla episodes, and she was like, you know what? I have a feeling he needs a little update on some of his. Here's a bar trivia question. Name a Sacramento news guy. I bet he would not get it right. And now she steps up and gives you a little alley-oop.
Here's my question. My first thought when I run into these people is we're in the same phylum. Like we are this organically. We're both human beings. Like I can't believe I share anything with this creature who also inhabits the planet. To me, we're nothing. I could never think like you. Like I think that way about Hamas.
Yeah.
I think that way about people who tear down the pictures of the missing kids who've been abducted. And I think this way about people who just yell out, Adam Carolla's in the house, to line and expect me to know Mark S. Allen.
I'm a big sucker of the in the house line, though, whether it's public or private. Whether you say it over Xbox Live and you're talking shit to like a 15-year-old in, I don't know, Dubai, and you're like, oh, suck on them nuts, Kevin Durant in the house, and you're Kevin Durant. Or if it's somebody trying to, I don't know, maybe you do a mic drop karaoke performance at a Chili's in the Midwest, which I did in 2005.
Do you think she did that for Mark S. Allen? Like, Mark S. Allen in the house, and now everyone's just confused in line?
I don't know. Do we know who Mark S. Allen is?
Sacramento ABC 10, baby.
In the hezzy!
Yeah. Maybe he did it, and she goes, and she saw the reaction it got. So she goes, if someone else comes here of note, I'm going to...
Okay, my first thought is I can't believe I share anything with this person.
Yeah.
But my second thought is insane jealousy.
Of Marcus Allen.
Of her. Freedom. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Just first off.
There's no Brita in between her thoughts. Here it is and here it comes.
There's no filter. And just the notion that she could take Mark S. Allen and blow through it and think that for a moment I would know who she was talking about.
And
obviously, and we're at the airport.
What I mean is we didn't run into each other at a local cop dive bar in Sacramento. I'm clearly passing through.
We're the sexy Sacramento newscasters of 2010.
Right. I don't live here. That's why I'm at the airport. That's how I shouldn't know.
Now, was this a pop-in live airport bar? Because I'm starting to wonder if, like, Diane, Catherine, Debbie, all potential names of this gal who shouted you out.
Mm-hmm.
If she has added a little extra to this bar and does shit like that on the reg to where people are like, man, we got to, like, you never know who's going in there because she's always making a hoopla. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to venture to assume that the bar was pretty close to, there's a lot of traffic, right? Yeah. You're walking by any airport bar. Mm-hmm. The bar is always in a spot where people can see it, so they want to stop by and go, let me just grab a quick bar. And if someone's walking by and hearing her faintly in the background going, "Da-da-da in the house," everyone turns and automatically is like, well, who the fuck is there? I would venture to assume 6 out of 10 goes, probably Mark S. Allen.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that guy gets a lot of love in Sacktown.
Well respected. Well, you know what? I feel like we're selling Mark S. Allen short right now because I'm looking up some of this stuff. He started the largest California-based chain of those bars where you throw the axe at the the bullseye. So that's like his thing.
Of course he did.
So
of course it is.
It's
now is that
a phenomenon?
We should salute Mark S. Allen just for being able to insure a bar that way. Like here's my sales pitch. People drinking hard and other people throwing axes. And you went, all right, we need to get insured, though. Oh, yeah, no problem. We'll underwrite that.
Yeah.
I'm Mark S. Allen.
Yeah. Now, we'll put the bathroom on the right next to where they're tossing the axes, and people just walk right through it. Like, just the idea of you decided to mix. First off, California outlawed lawn darts in 1974 because they were too dangerous.
No way.
Oh, yeah. Lawn darts are illegal.
Fuck.
But not booze and axes.
We haven't learned.
Now, do you think she puts Adam Carolla? Could you tell in the way she was like, first Mark S. Allen, then, like, it sounds like, at least in the hierarchy of who she would leave her husband for, you probably would get first dibs, yeah? Do you think it was like a Mark S. Allen, and now, right? Usually that's kind of how it goes.
Because
who would trump you now? Who's coming in next week to this bar? And she's like, we had Mark S. Allen, Adam Carolla, and now Tom Bergeron. Like, who is it?
Tom Bergeron.
Probably. Who's coming in next that throws you to the side and you're an afterthought?
Well, here's the thing. She goes in chronological order. So she had Mark S. Allen yesterday. She had me the day after, and then whoever comes next gets third billing.
Gotcha.
Unless it's a George Clooney type, in which case he'll hop up to the top.
Marcus Allen probably.
He's local news.
7-time Emmy Award winning producer.
That's a big deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Producer and host.
But that's local Emmy. That's not at the Emmy Awards.
I haven't taken that.
Winning smile. Can I take a ganter at describing his
crooked teeth and a horrible racist? Go ahead. You don't win 7 locals with having bad teeth.
Yeah.
They have to be local Emmys because he does local news, right?
I would assume so, yeah.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, he's probably reporting on a lot of, like, river races. A lot of, the news in Sacramento, I guess they get their fair amount of, like, arcade bar shootings.
Yeah, but there's a lot
fights in the streets.
It's also river-centric.
River-centric. A lot of river...
Let me ask you this.
He had a Comedy Central show.
He did?
Hosted.
It turns out this
you guys
guy's
have a lot in common.
Much bigger career than I have. I owe this woman an apology.
You really do.
Oh, but let me ask you this though. I did some research on Mark S. Allen while I was sitting at the table.
You had to.
He's not young. I think he was 47. I looked up at the time.
I'm seeing 58 to 59.
Oh, 58 to 59. Okay, better argument. The point is he's aware of Marcus Allen.
Yeah.
He didn't have to go with the S. He could have went with Mark Allen.
Yeah.
Nobody ever would have questioned that. Yeah. But he went with Mark S. Allen. Did he do it? Like I was saying, well, is it Julian Lennon or who's the Lennon son who wears the round spectacles?
I think it is Julian.
Sean Lennon, maybe.
Oh, it is Sean. It's definitely
Sean Lennon does listen, I'm my own musician. I do my own thing. But then he puts his dad's
I look just like my dad.
glasses on. And then you go, I got to ask you about your dad. And then he goes, I don't want to talk about my dad. But it's like, then don't wear those frames.
Sorry, man.
There's a million other frames to wear if you don't want people to be reminded of your dad. So
it's like if one of the Jackson kids, completely, morphed their face into looking like Pops.
Yeah, or Michael.
Can I just be my own person?
And Sean Lennon sounds like John Lennon.
Yes. So
well, that's not his fault.
Does
unless he changed the Sean?
Mark
he should change the Sean John Lennon.
Does Mark S. Allen?
And they got into sponsorship.
Does he like being mistaken for Marcus Allen?
I think so.
Like he's making a reservation, and he goes, "It's Marcus Allen."
Yes.
I will assume yes, only because he was born Mark Allen Stell. So Allen is his middle name, and he.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, if I name my kid Dikembe Mutombo Ray, I'm not gonna cause a fucking hissy fit if people go, like the Denver Nuggets center.
Yeah, you should.
No, man.
No.
Like the fucking frozen yogurt guy.
No. All right. Another question,
please.
Speaking of Sacramento.
Yeah.
Interested in this part of life.
Yeah.
The part of life I'm probably most interested in. When I started touring around the country doing stand-up.
You never thought you'd see the beautiful hills of Sacktown?
No, I did not.
And?
I fell in love with them so much so I'm thinking about relocating and doing local news.
Well, sorry to tell you.
What?
You got a 7-time Emmy-winning producer and host.
Well, that shit's local. So, yeah. So,
and you
here's
started
the deal.
Stand-up, yeah.
I didn't have an act per se, and I would do 90-minute shows, and sometimes we would do 3 90-minute shows in a night.
Wow.
And I didn't know anything. I just
This is what you do.
This is what I do. So I was always looking for a clock because when you have an act, you know your act, you know how long it is, and you know when you're done.
Yeah.
I never did it, so I would go around to these clubs all the time, and they would always. Comedy and stand-up is very time-centric. Like you go, the MC, he's going to do 8 minutes, or he's doing 10 minutes, or he's doing 12 minutes, and then the middle's going to do 15, but we're going to light you at 13, and then
so
you're going to do.
Yeah.
It's really time-centric, right? But no club ever had a clock anywhere. It was like a strip club.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, strip clubs will have a clock, but they'll set them ahead out here at least 20 minutes because they want to clear you out.
Wow.
It's a trick.
Good
but the point is this. And I would go all around the country and go, every place has a clock. The dentist office has a clock. It doesn't really need one because you know what time it is and you know your appointment's at 2 p.m. or whatever. But everyone has a clock. But the place where you really need a clock is on stage, and none of you have a clock. And we traveled around the country, and there was one club that put a clock up on the back wall, a digital clock, where the audience couldn't see it, but you could see it on stage. And I was like, that's fucking genius. Fine. One. And then as the years have gone by, you've seen this, they all magically have clocks now.
Get on board.
Because why would you be the last establishment to have a clock? So I then went to the Sacramento Punchline, and again,
shout out, great club.
My act, I do about an hour and 10 minutes, but it's a potpourri of 3 hours of material, and I choose from what I'm going to do. I don't know what an hour is. I would lose myself up there. And there's other we got to kind of keep it to the clock because then there's a second show and we want to reset the room. And
I'm the same way. I don't like to have a full I know from start to stop. And I mean that's just a part of truly being present, and kind of going with the flow of the show in the room and not knowing. I mean, I don't know how much crowd work or how much you're truly mixing it up, but I'm assuming a good amount each night. Right?
I don't do any crowd work.
But I mean, you don't want the show to be the same each night.
No,
you're not doing the same set of
I would
bits.
get bored. And also, sometimes I'm in the wings, and the middle ends his set with some material, and I go, oh, I got stuff on that. And then I go out and do the stuff he reminded me to do.
You should do what Harlan Williams did to me once when I would first start doing shows with him around town. When I was doing jokes about being Wolverine at Universal Studios. I'd have about 10 minutes on that, and then I'd get off stage, and he'd come up after, and he'd go, "Oh, guys, thanks for having me here. How about a hand from my son? He's post-op." And then he'd go, "Yeah, so I just working out some new stuff. So I was with the theme park. I play Wolverine," and he just basically went into a synopsis of the material I just did, but kept interjecting with, "I'm just working on some new stuff up here." It's fucking hilarious. And the crowd, he would do it. He did it probably 15 times in those initial shows that we were getting to know each other. And I'd say, sometimes the way Harlan is received, which should always be unanimously positive, some people were like, couldn't tell if he was serious, and some would, and then sometimes they'd be all on board. But yeah, I mean, the clock thing is comedy clubs. I think it's baffling to get to know them more over the years and go, oh, some of you are still on a lot of things pretty behind. So the clock, it's not totally surprising, because it's just like, it's such an obvious thing that should have been probably applied from the get-go.
They all have,
because just this, people forget that, and also
waving the hand.
People. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. How do you feel? Do your people ever go over in front of you, and do you do you try to?
It's happened. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Happen.
How do you feel about that? Do you try to parole that at all, or?
I normally don't care,
unless it's a significant amount of time, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dawson's gone over.
We were Dawson will do it, but
yeah, but
we were.
family.
Yeah, I know.
We were somewhere a few months ago, and the guy was supposed to do 15 minutes, and he just did half an hour.
That's crazy.
And the problem is it was.
You know what that is too. You feel that
the last show of the weekend, and it's not a coincidence that it's late Saturday show. You know,
I'm sure the crowd was great,
and he was doing crowd work and stuff, and it's like, you've already come on, you know what you're doing,
cashing your chips.
I didn't really appreciate that. I didn't really care that much. The only problem is I'm in the green room, and I go, all right, he's at 14, I'm getting up, and then you go and you stand in the back of the showroom, and you're standing there.
Yeah.
And then you stand there for 10 minutes, and you go, well, he's not getting off stage. And then you go back and you sit down. But now I don't know when he's getting off stage because
and it fucks with your energy a little bit.
It's you know what it is? It falls under the heading of sort of not cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I go to Sacramento Punchline. Everyone there is great. Crowd's great. Sold out 4 shows. Great time. All that. But I go in there and we're walking the flight. 3-hour delay, Southwest, Sacramento. 3-hour delay.
Always.
Now we land, and not only is the flight delayed 3 hours.
Did you make a stop in Shanghai? Is that why you were rerouted?
We
Classic
waited
Southwest.
on the plane the whole time.
No, you didn't.
Got loaded into a Southwest flight. And by the way, it's not like they're serving drinks or anything. You're just sitting there with your knees mashed up against the seat in front of you. Stayed on the plane, rolled out to the tarmac, went to get ready to take off, sat there for about an hour, and then pushed back and went back to the gate, never got off the plane, refueled the plane. So now the Sacramento flight, which is supposed to be 55 minutes, is 4.5 hours at this point. But now we're going to land. Oh, the dreams. You know what I mean? When you're getting there early, you're like, when I get to the hotel, I'm going to work out, then I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to take a shower and shave. I'll get ready for the show.
Yeah.
Then at some point, it's like, all right, I'm not working out.
Check things off
We're
the
going to
list.
take a 45-minute nap and then shower and then whatever. And then at some point, it's like, I'm going to beat off in an Uber and we're going straight to the club.
Maybe on the plane.
Maybe on the plane.
Yeah, save some time.
Not only is the flight delayed 3 hours, it's a 7:30 show. We're supposed to land at 4. I was going to have all the time in the world, but now I'm landing at 6:45 and whatever.
You're right to the club then, yeah?
The baggage. I checked a bag, and the baggage carousel is on the fritz. It's blinking, and there's a guy up on it pulling luggage out by hand from the lower part, and
just
it's
chucking bags.
So not only completely slammed clockwise, but now have to spend an extra 40 minutes at the airport waiting for the baggage. Anyway, get to the club. 7:30 show. Get to the club about 7:40. I just said start 5 minutes late. Put the opener on. And walking with the manager. Meets me out in the parking lot. Whatever. I go, do you have a clock on stage? And he goes, no. And then I go, really? And he goes, no. And then he does this one, which I love. Everyone asks about the clock. And I was like,
That's a great idea.
Break it down. Break it down. So he then, again, in today's day and age of Amazon being ubiquitous and a digital clock being $9 and stuff like that, you just get the clock. But
it's on your rider.
He pulled the clock off of the wall in his office, a round wall clock.
Analog.
No, it was digital, but it was still a round.
Oh, it's round.
Wall clock.
Did what with it?
He set it on top of the stool.
So it's got a wheel?
That's where I usually put my drink, but okay.
God.
And I just sat and looked at it the whole time. And it wasn't set to the right time, but it was only like 5 minutes off. Yeah.
Can you
That's
imagine?
life in the big
Was
city.
Lauryn Hill on your flight?
Yes,
What's going
she should have been.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Sacramento during the holidays? That airport for being such a shit show. And just, I think flights in general, I always feel like it's not an accident when it took longer to get to Sacramento. Like something in the, I think God just must recognize who's really in a hurry to get there.
To Sac down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you get there and you realize, you're close to Tahoe, you're close to San Fran. It's a good middle ground city. I don't know. I went to a Little Wayne, Little John, maybe Little Kim. It was Brad might have been there just to round it out. It was a rap concert in a open field, and I've never seen more heavy set white, Latina, and African American women twerk and shake and bounce and jiggle to all three of those artists in my entire life. When Turn Down for What played at the height of it, man, you would have thought. I mean, at one point, I was, and then I'm looking around, I'm seeing guys, every woman on that field broke it down at that point. And there were guys rubbing their faces in between butt cheeks, which, pink eye city, and you're the mayor.
Oh, yeah.
And then some guys were just holding on. So I saw some guys bouncing them off other faces. Some guys were taking videos. Some guys were grinding. I love the skinny guy, big girl grind.
Yes.
Always fun to watch.
What can we glean?
Because you're losing something in there.
What can we glean from ass guys versus tit guys? You know what I mean?
Elaborate.
Well, what I mean is like you'll see a guy, he's driving around a big 4-wheel drive. It's all got a big lift kit on it, and the fun and mutter 36-inch knobby tires, and someone goes, "Oh, that guy's got a small dick." You know what I mean? This is
overcompensating.
Overcompensation.
I always think that when a fast car drives by. Do you?
Yeah, sometimes I'll think, why does this guy need to be seen? Or like maybe it's a Lambo, but the guy's got it wrapped in some kind of purple gauze or something. You're like, do you really need what is missing?
If a guy was driving at 80 down Sunset, which people always at the store patio are like, oh, fucking small dick. Right. But if he was blasting Fast Car by Tracy Chapman, I'd go, oh, that's funny. And probably normal size wiener.
Yeah.
What
do you think of the ass guy versus the tit guy?
Like what's going through his mind? What's his day-to-day like?
What happened to him? Why is there
was he
difference?
Ass and then went to tit?
Have we split America?
I think America's split. I think the ass guy is a little more evolved. Like I used to be a breast guy. I loved it when I was younger, but now as I get older, I realize the work that people put in for the glutes. I realize that they have to earn it more.
Have you always called them breasts?
These women don't seem like these women aren't living in the gym. Man. They're not living in the gym.
Yeah.
This is.
Oh, you mean like the implants?
This implants and then just playing on fat ass. You know what I mean?
Well, the implants are quite dangerous. So
now, let me follow-up question. If a girl told you I've got breast implants or butt implants, which one do you go? If she's like, take your pick. You can see either or both if you play your cards right. And we're playing Uno.
What's your accent?
I don't know who this is or where they're from, but she's got implants. She got shot up and juiced up, and she's like, you get to see one or the other.
Well, listen,
and one of them's botched.
One tit and one cheek, or both of them.
How about this? I'm going to see your cheek and raise you. The docs at Botched tried to fix because she got. They took fat from her butt and put it in her titties. So now she's got fat butt tits, which is my Xbox screen name. Not to be confused with penis and tits kid.
That's right.
But which would you see, I guess? Implants, butt, or boob?
This to deconstruct a little.
Please.
I think I would prefer to be with a woman with a boob job than an ass job.
I think most would. Agree.
And I think, in general, Chris aside, when a guy says he likes a big ass, I hear big hog. I mean, he's got a big. If you have if you have a microphallus and you want a big ass, that's a death wish. That's suicide by ass.
You must have just lost your job.
You're asking to get in the ring with Chuck Liddell, and you have zero skills.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
You came from softball practice, and now you want to fight an MMA fighter.
Right. This is not going to work. If you have a small penis and you go, I love a woman with like a big bulbous ass.
Yeah.
You're asking for pain. You're asking for humiliation.
Unless that guy knows how to Tetris around and, make sure he doesn't get squished. But it's inevitable.
You're just not equipped with the hardware you need.
You don't have the hardware.
Yeah, you don't have the hardware. Now, follow up. What if a woman goes, I took some of the meat from my breasts and put it in my butt, and then the first date goes well, and she goes, would you like to titty fuck my butt cheeks? What do you say? Thanks for the laugh in the back.
That's awesome. I would like to say...
Is that a deal breaker?
Good news. I took some of the fat from my love handles, and I haven't put in my cock. And now I can do it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I couldn't do it before.
We'll be right back.
When I hear big ass, I just
You get
think
scared.
big dick.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but not for me. Like okay, let's break it down.
Yeah.
The number one culture that loves a big ass are black dudes.
Totally.
Where do Asians rank?
They got to be down the line.
They're down.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
By the way, I really recently threw that into a joke about when I was talking about Halloween and how my mom bought me this bird costume. And I was but I threw it in her hands where I was like, get my costume. She came back from Goodwill with a bird. It wasn't Big Bird, Tweety Bird, a Roadrunner. It was just a random autistic purple and red and orange bird from Goodwill. And again, this was peak Fat Adam. So I'm walking through. You couldn't tell who it was. And I made some comment about how all the black dudes in the class were all about it because I had this big fat bird ass and my teacher was like, that pigeon's got some big ass titties. Anyway, you just reminded me of the fact that yes, in most experiences in my life, I remember when my mom used to come pick me up from playing pickup games in near downtown Seattle, and she'd get catcalled. And this is in I guess more of her plump days, but I was it was my first taste of live catcalling towards
in front of you.
Yeah, in front of me. Oh, one of my sister's friends, Jason Potts, I'll say his name. He smoked cigarettes, I think, in the 5th grade. He told me once during a pickup game of basketball that he was going to wreck my mom. It was the first taste of that, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, more theories.
Go ahead.
I think ass guys are intercourse guys, and boob guys may be more blowjob guys. I don't think ass guys are blowjob guys.
Boob guys might like some of the, they might like to, I think you're right.
If you're an ass guy and a blowjob guy, you're wasting the ass. You know what I mean?
What do you think, what do you think in porn gets, what do you think gets featured more statistically in porn? Do you think people are searching more straight boob stuff? Or are they do you think titty sex jokes, titty sex. Do you think titty sex jokes are getting searched on Pornhub? No. Titty sex videos versus just straight, are guys going right to butts for porn videos? Or are they getting a nice balance?
I wish Pornhub
I'm asking for a friend.
I wish Pornhub was around when our grandfathers were around.
Me too.
Because we would then know how statistics have changed over the years. I believe this country...
It's a new acquisition.
When men didn't wear bracelets and ate stew, and we could put together a fighting force that wasn't morbidly obese. I think those guys were tit guys back in the day. I think they've slid into
Marilyn Monroe,
ass stuff.
Yeah. My grandpa had these pretty provocative photos of Marilyn Monroe in his bathroom.
Oh, right.
He was a stand-up guy, but I remember in very young days, 2nd grade, I think, the earliest, walking in. I'd use that bathroom more often than I needed to. My grandma was like, what's up? I was like, I had 17 7-Ups today. And she's like, is that why you're bringing some fucking soap into Grandpa's bathroom again? But I remember seeing that, and it was always usually the nipples and the breasts were featured. Not a lot of tush.
Yeah.
It would be great to see.
We have the most searched, by the way.
Yeah, the end of the year, Pornhub always releases their most searched terms. So
of course they do. It's Spotify releasing the top streams.
Right. Yeah, but so they haven't released 2023 yet, but last year's Hentai was number 1.
Was that anime shit?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so disgusted in
along
everybody.
with Japanese.
Imagine being at a social function like a wine mixer or a friend's barbecue. You know, you got neighbors. What if someone's like, "Hey, Adam, come on over," and then like 6 cocktails deep. You know, I've been getting into something. Adam, I hear your Mark S. Allen story. I want to raise you something fun. So recently, it's always the guy that just. I've been getting into. I got a new hobby.
Yeah.
So
come with me in the TV room.
Yeah, come in the TV room. If he takes you to a different room, you know he's about to say.
Are you brewing your own beer, Gus?
Well, you know, I'm trying. So
are you making belts? What are you, tan and leather?
Belts. You know, the wife, she's got her candle company going, so it's not. You know, but
what is this hobby?
Well, so I've always been a big cartoon guy, right? And recently, look, Family Guy, funny show, South Park. Mm-hmm. You know, it's up there. But what's missing always to me is like, you know, you want to see Homer fucking at some point, right? Well, get this. So there's a couple of sites called Hentai, I believe it is. Russ, it's Hentai, right? Yeah. Oh, Russ's friend Chris is here too. What? Chris actually turned me on to it.
Oh, I'm so disgusted with everybody.
Well, that's because you haven't seen it.
I've seen pictures.
Not the video. I'm a video guy, you know.
All right, what's number 2? That's so sad.
Japanese is number 2. MILF, still holding strong at number 3.
Still holding strong.
Then lesbian.
Yeah.
Then Panay, which is a Filipino woman. So, yeah.
Good for you.
And then Asian, stepmom, and then...
Wait a minute. The top 5 or 6 are Asian-centric, right?
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up, man? Be our focus group here.
As an Asian.
No love for the Armenians?
Hey, man, the Jews are starting to get hornier.
White guys love Asian women.
They do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so
okay.
Come on.
All right.
Well, the stepmom, I'm surprised to see stepmom slip. I mean, MILFs have
Where's stepmom?
I think 5 or 6.
Stepmom's like 1, 2,
we haven't even got to titties yet?
No, in fact, before titties, we do anal and big ass for the next 2.
See, this is not the country your grandfather
Anal and big ass was Toe Jam and Earl's nemesis.
That's right. Wow.
Yeah, then threesome, Latina, ebony, massage, and then big tits.
Massage
ebony,
is all the way down the line.
Black's always at the bottom.
Yeah, that's not good for.
Ebony's below
morale.
Latina?
Yes.
And they call it ebony. I do like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
At least Pentai. What is it? Pandora?
Hentai?
What is it? No, what was the Filipino one?
Panay.
Panay.
Yeah.
Now, Panay feels like a Filipino word for penis, no? What is it? What is Panay? Just
sounds like plural of penis.
Plural of penis. Panay.
No,
right.
Panay is a female Filipina or Filipino, and then
Gotcha.
Pinoy is a guy.
I love that.
Pinoy, Panay.
My stepmom used to make lumpia.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See where
white
lumpia
people love
porn
lumpia
ranks.
too.
Is that bottom say pubic or what's it say?
Public.
Public. What's not that
Oh
far
my
off.
God. Pubic porn. Yeah.
Oh, listen, there's a subcategory Bush
for everything.
related
There's
stuff.
probably a Denny's
sure, that
bathroom
makes
link.
sense, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's BBC?
Oh, that's just
Ebony.
the English News Network.
What is that?
Male ebony. Big black.
Oh, cock.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, come on. Don't act so surprised. It's in your search history.
Wow. Cosplay, amateur, POV. I'm surprised POV is that far down the line.
Yeah.
Indian, squirt. Okay.
The soda?
7-Up. Black.
How about now? Do people go this? Do people go this far? Do they go ebony squirt or
They don't get that
Penai
specific.
Penai
combine.
squirt?
What's JOI?
JOI is jack off instructions.
Why do you
Why
know?
the fuck do you know?
I don't know
that?
how I know that. I
Okay.
don't know
Anyway,
why
today's
I know
episode
that.
was brought to you by
This is more telling than I thought we were talking about big ass and big
Trans,
tits.
man.
Trans is above lesbian scissoring, and then real amateur homemade. That's down. Is that at the
What
bottom?
about like
or the
isn't
more?
babysitter one? Stern always talks about the babysitter porn. That
Oh
he
yeah,
likes.
babysitter's a huge one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or caught on cam, right? That's
Yeah.
the original America's Funniest Home Videos.
I don't see. I don't feel you ruin the illusion when you go amateur porn number 14, and then at the bottom you go real amateur porn. You know what I mean? Now, what have I been beaten off to? A lie?
It's like when Burger King was like, "Hey, psych! Now we got real meat."
That's right.
What were we having before?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is a budget?
You're outing your own porn site by doing the real one at the bottom. All right, we got the news. I have other questions for Adam Ray. We got to take a quick break.
Porn. All right.
We'll come back. We'll do that right after this. Let me tell you about Native Path Krill Oil. Heart disease, blood clots, strokes, kidney failure, all found on the back of an ibuprofen bottle. And ibuprofen doesn't even solve the real issue, which is inflammation. Researchers say to add an Antarctic super nutrient to your diet, omega-3 fatty acids, sourced from wild-caught krill, shown to support healthy blood pressure, circulation, brain health, plus reduced inflammation, swelling, and joint pain. Krill oil, well, it can outperform ibuprofen, Advil, and Tylenol without the dangerous side effects. So for a limited time, grab Native Path Antarctic Krill Oil for as low as $23 a bottle. Oh, it's so good for you. Go to nativepath.online/Adam now for a special offer just for being a part of my audience. That is Native Path Krill Oil. It is good for what ails you. Hey, I don't know if you guys know, but it's See Better, Drive Safer month now at O'Reilly Auto Parts. They have put a spotlight on items to help you see the road more clearly. All month long, receive gift cards after rebate on select wiper blades and bulbs. If your wiper blades are streaking and smearing, well, they're worn out and they need to be replaced. But good news, you can get up to a $20 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with purchase of select wiper blades. Their professional parts people will install your new wiper blades and they'll do it for free. See the road better with new bulbs? Get up to a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of Sylvania Silver Star Ultra or select ZXE twin pack bulbs. They'll even help you pick out the right bulb for your vehicle. Visit your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store for details. O Rewards members receive 2 times O Rewards points on select bulbs and up to 4 times points on cleaning supplies for your vehicle. Don't miss the See Better, Drive Safer month now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or shop online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
In honor of Jim Carolla's 92nd birthday, here's a list of all the things Adam Carolla will do before he dies. Be embroiled in a lawsuit that stems from a heroic story. Like, I broke the leg of a gangbanger robbing a liquor store, and now he's suing me. Just one of the things Adam will do before he dies. Let's get back to the Adam Carolla Show.
Adam Ray in the studio. Adam's got dates at AdamRayComedy.com. You can see him in D.C. You can see him in San Diego.
Also, can I plug one thing? Go to my Instagram. Adam Ray Comedy for a video I posted today of potentially the craziest thing that's happened to me on stage in my 16 years of stand-up.
Really?
What happened?
And I just want to pimp it out to, I don't want to play the video. It's about 4.5 minutes, but I was doing this 88 show with Avery Pearson and Sarah Silverman and Craig Robinson were on it. And basically the comics do a set and then they sing a song with a live band that you've written. And I had a song that I wrote about my friends that have had kids that have basically hung up the fun flag and aren't fun anymore. You know, bummer couples, BCs, people that show up to a party that starts at 7. They
BCs.
Bummer couples number 39.
Right above Panay.
That's right.
Yeah. And so I sing the song, and then at the end I go, let's add a little part for improvisation to kind of riff off the crowd. So I start singing about my friends that suck because of the kids, but then I'm like, but we still want to have kids. So we start going to the crowd. I'm like, let's find the pros and cons from people. And I go, do you guys have kids? And the guy goes, fuck no. And I go, all right. And I'm singing all this. Do you have kids? No. And then I go, sir. He goes, yes, we have 2. I go, and then I was like, which one is your favorite? Right, and all this shit. And then I go, how old are they? And he kind of draws a blank. So we start busting his balls. I go to the mom. I go, do you know how old your kids are? She goes, well, I'm sorry to say this, but one of them's dead.
Oh.
Whole energy shift.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm not going to say what happens after that, but it was pretty incredible. Super well, basically, we ended up like getting some more details, singing about him. She was like, our dead son would think this is hilarious. We sung a whole harmonized chorus about that. Then we started singing this thing about him and like giving it up for him. And like, she's fucking wiping tears. The whole room's going nuts. It was kind of bonkers. I was getting goosebumps on stage. Anyway, it's on my Instagram.
Adam Ray Comedy.
All right.
So expect that at every show in DC and San Diego.
We got some news.
Please.
Also, quick policy for Uber. Tell me what you think.
Oh, yeah. I would love a good Uber policy update.
I am going to Bryan Cranston's poker tournament 2 weekends ago.
Life rules. Life rules, huh?
Jealous.
Is that one of those cool things when you're on your way, you go, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Thought it was pretty cool.
Okay, good.
And Cranston's cool, and so I'm going to his tournament. And the tournament's like almost downtown LA. It's far away. And I'm coming from Malibu. And I'm Ubering over there because it's open bar, and he's got his tequila. And
Come on.
I'm going to have a good time.
Yeah.
So, but it's going to be an hour in the Uber, 55 minutes, whatever it is. The woman picks me up is deep cut Asian. I don't even know what Asian, but she's a deep cut Asian.
Let's look it up. Uber Asian.
She's got her seat all the way up. I mean, she's using her sun visor like a headrest, like that far.
Oh, you love that.
And she's driving like a 2020 Acura or something.
Okay.
Huge furry steering wheel cover, just yak
Not what
pelt.
I thought you were going to say.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Huge. And I'm like, first, okay, couple things. A, this does not instill confidence in the rider. I know
the furry cover.
Well, okay. Here's the deal. If nobody in the history of Formula One or NASCAR put a super furry cover around their steering wheel, then it does not enhance performance driving.
It's not about that. Asians, we don't go stock.
The steering wheel, and look, there's old steering wheels. My dad had a VW Bug from the 60s. It was hard like Bakelite plastic. You know, in the summer, it'd get really hot. It'd get really cold in the winter. Even older, like an old Ferrari would have like a Nardi steering wheel. And it was wood, but it was thin.
Right.
And, you know, your hands could become fatigued. New cars, it's vented, it's padded, it's leather. It's just no reason to put this big furry thing around it other than to say to me, this is going to be the longest fucking trip from Malibu to downtown ever captured in an Uber. Like, we're not going anywhere. I see it, and of course she's slower than shit, and she's slowing down, and we're missing every light, and it takes forever, and blah, blah, blah. But all I'm saying is, shouldn't Uber have a policy?
I think so.
Like, what if I went, you know what? I'm going to hang a swastika from my rear view. Would that be fine? I made it out of clay.
No flare allowed. You shouldn't have no flare.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, I am sitting in the back staring at this yak pelt around the steering wheel going, we're going nowhere now.
Oh.
We're going nowhere. You're advertising. And they should be illegal. Do you know that a Brody knob on a steering wheel is illegal? You can't have that knob.
That's so cool.
No Brody knob. They have a million things that are illegal. How you put this slip cover around the most important part of this automobile in terms of averting an accident?
Yeah.
Like, what if a semi-truck just jumped the medium and it was coming right at us? Do you think you yanked the thing, it wouldn't slide 3 inches first before it fucking grabbed the wheel?
If a semi-truck hit the wheel, you know Mark S. Allen will be reporting on this story.
He'd be
being
live
like, Adam Carolla in the back, but also you would get second billing because he'd be like, an Asian Uber driver is driving with a furry steering wheel cover. Much to the chagrin of Adam Carolla, we actually have him live in a coma from the hospital.
It should be a policy that Uber says, no, sorry, you can't do that.
Would you rather fun aesthetics from the driver in the car or additional small talk? Did she kind of keep it clean on that front, or was she chumming you up?
She did not speak English.
Did she attempt and you shut it down?
There was no talk. There was also Mike and I had a guy had this chick out of Tampa that just picked like a Tahitian theme for her Lilo and Stitch kind of thing with the seat covers and the dash thing, and it's like here's no statements. Is it what I'm saying? Like well, look, what if you said to Uber, listen, I smoke when I drive. Then Uber just go, you're not doing it. You're not doing it. And if you said, I like reggaeton and I like it loud, you know what I mean? They just go, no, sorry.
You don't do it. Like, they have rules.
I bet they have that rule, and she is just disobeying.
I don't think Uber vets as much as you think. I've had Uber drivers fall asleep, and I've had to straight up poke them and then be like, hey, easy, man. And I'm like, no. I'm doing us both a favor. I just had an Uber driver in Seattle, and just his banter should have been illegal, or at least there should have been something on the app. I don't know how. He basically, every fourth sentence, he was like, hey, sprinkle me real quick. Sprinkle me. He reminds me of Dirte, my white rapper brother-in-law, like like if he was a backup singer with Dirte. But Dirte's got a little more swag. This guy had less teeth, but he had more stories. He kept bragging to us about how his 12-year-old son beats up adults on the bus.
Wow.
And then he'd end that story before he could ask a question. He'd be like, and then he just straight up hit this guy, and the cop comes, and he was like, that's what's up. You raised your kid well. Now sprinkle me real quick. Sprinkle me. like riddle me this. Like, tell me something.
A gentleman that likes a plump rear end?
I think so. Well, he's a white dude.
Oh, white dude.
Yeah, white dude. See, but I mean,
wow.
That's what I'm saying. Like, white rapper. He's got white rapper energy.
Oh, like Dirte.
Yeah. And I was chumming him up, and my wife was like, you got to stop. And at one point, he just goes, can I show you pictures of my son? He cooked his own rigatoni fettuccine Alfredo combination plate last night. And I was like, I'd love to see it. He's showing the pictures and scrolling, looking back Dumb and Dumber style, not even looking at the road.
Yeah.
And then he goes, and he just put the speakers in my car. Hey, sprinkle me real quick. Sprinkle me. Yeah, you ever know a kid that puts their own speakers in the car right now? I was like, not right now, because you just told me about this story for the first time. He goes, sprinkle me. You want to hear it real quick? I go, not really. Full blast the most insane, annoying, obnoxious, like clubhouse music. And by the way, this is cut to 9 a.m. on a way to an hour Uber drive to see my nephew's last flag football game. And I am as hungover as you could imagine. What's probably the top 3 things that you don't want to hear at 9 a.m. when you're so hungover? Probably the audio from a Panay porn.
Right.
Or quiet. Yeah. And then, maybe Dawson jerking off in a subway bathroom. And then the third one is this guy's musical choice.
Basically, bathtub rap.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just homemade, shitty rap.
Yeah.
Being sprinkled upon.
Sprinkle me.
Sprinkle me.
All right, Chris, let's do a little news.
Adam played an Uber driver on Curb.
Yes.
Do you remember
Oh,
that?
that's right.
Yeah,
So
one-star Larry.
Yes.
The amount
He's
of things
qualified to talk about this.
By the way, and the amount of things that I would that didn't make the cut, I'll just give you one of them. Larry, at one point, the whole thing was supposed to be how, on the little beat sheet, and then you improvise up a storm was, at one point, Larry asked what his rating is. You tell him he's a 1-star, and then, you guys play from there. And he was like, 1 star? What do you mean 1 star? I think they kept part of this in when I was like, you might feel like a 5, but you came in, Uber says, you're a 1. And then when we were shooting, and they didn't put this in though, he's like, I'm not a 1. He's like, look at me, I'm 1. And I kind of do a turn back. I go, I gotta be honest, man, you got 1 energy. And he's like, what does that even mean? I was like, you look like a guy that's gonna be like just smoking in the back. You're coming in with girls. You're sucking. You're fucking. He goes, I'm not sucking. I'm not fucking. And it got to a really great curve fight. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, they gotta keep this in.
So, Adam, big update just about 20, 30 minutes ago. After a 2-year court battle between the city of Burbank,
Cosby's free,
and a Western-themed bar refusing to shut down during COVID-19. A judge has dismissed all of the remaining claims from both sides earlier this month. Tinhorn Flats.
What do you mean, dismissed both sides?
Yeah.
So what? So Garagos lost?
Or they said everybody just go home, nobody's in trouble, kind of thing.
God damn.
Yeah. So
is this bad?
Well, Tinhorn Flats is the name of a kind of honky-tonky kind of bar. Fun bar. Fun local.
Coyote Ugly type bar?
Yeah.
The saloon doors.
Yeah.
Awesome. Where, in Burbank?
Yeah.
Yeah. Owned by a family.
Lepasian.
Or whatever he says it. But I went to high school with them.
Cool.
The Lepasian family, and then Barrett, the guy I went to high school with, took it over, and it was like family run for like 50 years. And then at some point, a week after Gavin Newsom was hanging out at the French Laundry with 30 of his closest friends in defiance of all the COVID protocols, then announced that outdoor dining was now illegal.
Right.
And everybody had moved heaven and earth, all the restaurants, to move outside. Space heaters and tables, and people moved out in the sidewalks, and then made visqueen plastic shanty towns and stuff, and moved all their stuff to the sidewalks and everything. And so Tinhorn Flats had a pretty sizable back patio.
Awesome.
And so they pushed everything out into the back patio, and then super blowhard narcissist, man who never stops talking about freedom, Gavin Newsom, decided that outdoor dining was also dangerous. So all the pussy sheep heels complied, but Tinhorn Flats said, you have no evidence that outdoor dining is dangerous vis-a-vis COVID. There is no study. It doesn't exist. They never were working off of statistics or data. So Tinhorn Flats basically said, we're taking a stand and we're not shutting down our outdoor dining.
Cool.
I then got word of this and took my son, Sonny, and I said, we're going to Tinhorn Flats and we're going to support them. So we went there and supported them. Then the city of Burbank showed up and they put boards around the place and put a temporary fence around the place. And then eventually they completely put the place out of business.
Jesus. Padlocked the front doors.
Padlocked the front doors and eventually literally cemented a fence in place around it and completely shut it down.
That's
complete and total fucking overreach. And based on no science or no data whatsoever, they put this 50-year family-run business out of business. And so Mark Garagos represented the family to try to claw back some money from the city of Burbank. But of course, who the fuck knows? I mean, the fix is in. So many businesses should be able to sue so many municipalities for broad overreach based on nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking Burbank. Who's the guy? Constantine retard?
Anthony?
Huh?
Is it Anthony?
Constantine Anthony or whatever. Now, the guy was on the city council, is the biggest fucking tard in Burbank. That guy's now the mayor of Burbank. That's the guy who was getting his ass spanked in Drag Queen Story Hour a few months ago. He's a complete fucking idiot.
And he's now running. Police, I think, or you want to dissolve police enforcement?
He's just a fucking full-fledged retard, asshole, idiot. And now he's running Burbank. Somebody needs to start fucking suing these people because their overreach is insane.
Yeah,
and it's gotta be done. So I'll talk to Mark. About this and find out what's going on.
All right. So in another story, a man who won a staggering $1.35 billion
Heard about this story.
in Mega Millions jackpot earlier this year has filed lawsuit against the mother of his child, accusing her of disclosing his lottery win to family members.
Yeah.
So all the family members.
He said, "Wait until our daughter's born.
Our kid's 18.
Our kid's 18 to tell family."
Yeah.
With rightfully so. I mean, that's money rips. The amount of families I've known that money is ripped apart, and I mean, it's usually when people pass and then there's money and assets to divide up. But I mean, you want to talk the lottery winners? I would love to see that documentary on the amount of families that have just fucking ripped each other's pubes apart because there's cash on the line.
There's a bigger. Well, first off,
when you win
this
much, I think he got. They said he got how much after taxes?
$723.56 million as a one-time lump sum payment. But after taxes, the amount was just over $404 million.
Yeah,
and the wife told her parents and a few pals, probably all the girls at the salon.
Yeah, so he had her sign an NDA. Saying, you got to keep it a secret until our daughter's 18.
I'd be like, you got to keep this a secret until after our divorce.
I mean, daughter's born.
Oh, yeah.
Number one. Okay.
Oh, man.
All right, number two. This is the biggest fucking scam in the world. This is a tax on poor people who can't afford it. The lottery, yes, and none of the money. I don't know. The money goes to the schools. Never. I would never fucking do it. It's a pox on poor people. It disproportionately affects poor black and brown people who these people always claim to care about, except for they're the ones that are hurt the most over the lottery. And the money, it's the biggest scam in the world. It goes to the schools. Why do we always need more money for the schools if you guys are raping everyone with your fucking fantasy lottery? All right. Here's what I'm saying. How can it be good for the schools? Here's what I've said. If you went into any guidance counselor in any high school in America and said, as a 16-year-old, I need your guidance counselor, what should I be doing? And the guidance counselor looked at your papers and went, you should be playing the lottery. That guidance counselor would be fired. Because that's the worst advice you could give to a young kid. So then why are we taking that money and giving it, of all places, to the schools? Number one. Number two, the fucking number should be the number. It shouldn't be like, our number's $500 million. Oh, you won. Would you like half of that?
You get it all now.
Would you like to get paid $176 for the next 2,000 years? Yeah. It shouldn't be, hey, bitch, it's $500 million.
Yeah.
That's what the fucking sign says.
And
I got a fucking winning ticket. So that's what I want. It shouldn't, it's a great deal, isn't it? Like, okay, would you like half? Does Vegas work that way when you win the Super Bowl? Oh, you won the Super Bowl. Would you like half the money we plan on giving you?
You want the trophy and HPV? Like, no, just the trophy. And that's what was advertised.
Here's the thing. The lottery winners are the worst and comedians are the second. Here's what I'm saying. If you come from a family where you struck it big and you in the tech industry or the textile industry or anything, right? But chances are, if you come from that family, you have another brother or sister who's a lawyer or who's doing well. There's education. Yeah. There's a background. There's a pedigree, right? And you work hard for your money. You know, like you go, well, all right, you make a lot of money, but you also have a huge factory in Mexico, and you spend half your time in Mexico. That's where the textiles are made or whatever. Right. When you win the lottery, you come from a bunch of poor people, could be black or brown, but it's all white trash. You just come from bunches of poor people, and you did nothing for that money. You can't see. That's the problem with being a comedian. Because your fucking shitty family, my shitty family can go, could I have some money? And you go, hey, man, I work really hard. Up on stage, holding a Miller Lite, telling fart jokes. That's hard. Get your ass kissed every night. And they know you don't do anything for your money. Right. You know what I mean? And if you have a job, like even if you made a ton of money, but you worked a hard job, like there are jobs where you can work a hard. You could be a coal miner and make $250,000 a year if you work really hard, and like overtime and union and golden time. I bet you welders on like Alaskan pipelines. Some of those dudes are probably making $300K a year. Yeah, but no one goes to them and goes, "Hey man, how about you kick a little down this way?" But you win that money. You didn't work for it. It's all luck of the draw. It could have been them, and you come from poor people.
It could have been them. That's the lottery slogan. It could be you, and that's how it sucks the fucking life out of people.
Now you have to kick it down.
Yeah. People hear that. Even when the odds are 1 in 7 billion, they go, gosh, I never looked at it like that. It could be me.
I'm 1 in 7 billion.
I'm 1 in 7 billion.
Yeah, and then this thing of like, it could, it's 1 in 7 billion.
Think of all the other things that could happen to you instead of the lottery.
They go, it's 1 in 7 billion, and then that person has to think that's for all the other poor stooges. This is me. But I'm like, it's 10:30, and you're at a 7-Eleven, and you're wearing a bathrobe. You really? You really think this is you? Do you think you're touched by God?
It's not talking to you. By the way, at 1 in 7 billion. You have better odds of like Terry Schiavo coming back from the dead and trick or treating at your house than you do winning the lottery.
That's right.
And even that feels
the math
far-fetched.
The math checks out. I just crunched those Schiavo numbers.
I mean, yeah. Now I do think and that's the thing too. He didn't work for it. He bought the ticket. He won it, but now he feels like, he should just hit up all the family, be like, here's your cool mill, and then fucking leave it. Yeah. So he's creating a bigger problem, and he's probably, I don't want to say it, I would say watch your back.
Oh, no, he said he's suing because
he's getting death threats.
Yeah, potentially endangering his public identity and his safety.
Well, what does he do?
He's getting harassed by his family members. He's suffering emotional distress.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, then don't play the lottery, dumb nuts, dumb dick. I don't know, whatever I was going to say.
Numb cock. That's what you
Numb cock. Wait, the last thing.
Bruce Lee could spin those things.
Wait. What is Numb cock's first name if he's a detective? David Numbcock? What is it?
It's John.
John Numbcock.
Yeah, they always go John Stonebreaker. They always whenever a movie when he's a cop and his name is Lawless or something, they always go John because it makes you buy it.
Friday nights on Fox.
John Numbcock. I'd watch it. Now does he go John Numbcock, or does he go Numbcock? John. Which one is it?
I like that one.
Wait, all right, real quick, and then we'll move on. Who stars in the Fox hit series John Numbcock? But the show's called Numbcock. Yeah. Numcock. So we can get away with it.
Yeah. I got your answer.
Great.
The Boz.
Ooh.
Bosworth.
Okay.
Because he was in Lawless. Stone Cold or Lawless.
Johnny Lawless or something like that.
Well, what was the Boz's series? Was it?
We talked about this, I believe, last time I was here. It was
Stone Cold or something. He had a movie like Stone Cold, and he also had like a biker, infiltrates the biker gang. Lawless.
Perfect.
There you go. That's why I thought about
I'd watch it.
All right, let's do one more.
Let's see what we got
All
here.
right, oh, did you? So Argentina just got a new president.
I love this guy.
Yeah, Javier Milei.
Mm-hmm.
So he won. The AP is calling him the right-wing populist. I mean, you've seen all the videos. He has the crazy hair, the crazy eyebrows. He hates leftists.
Yeah, they're all gonna go nuts on this guy.
Oh yeah. So his support for freedom of choice. He supports freedom of choice on topics like drugs, prostitution, marriage, sexual preference, and gender identity. But he is very opposed to abortion and euthanasia. He plans to slash government spending, dollarize the economy, and eliminate the central bank, as well as key ministries, including health and education.
His speeches are great.
Yeah, he's
like liberals. Fuck those tards.
Yeah, that's exactly
like he's
right.
awesome.
It's translated, but that's what
This
it's
is who?
translated.
This is who again?
Javier Milei. He's a new president
Or maybe-
of Argentina.
Yes.
Maybe it's just a rogue translator.
Could be.
Because that's what I would do.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be saying in Spanish, like, we must feed the poor and we must house the unhoused. He just said, fuck those liberal tards. He also said, for more information, go to Carolla.com for live dates. Touring around.
My God.
I mean, I would be that's what I would do if I translated, wouldn't you?
Now, follow up. Do you think a sign language interpreter ever does that at one of our shows? Where she's just signing the most racist, inhumane shit to the deaf ears? And they're walking out being like, I'm not going to do the voice.
possible.
And I was about to, but they're walking out going, well, Dawson, you do a great deaf voice. But no, it's that you walk out and they're like, hey, this guy was a lot more edgy than I remember.
Was I telling you about that weird gag I played on the sign language person?
Oh.
It's on the internet somewhere.
It's got to be.
You as a comedian who plays a lot of theaters and a lot of clubs and will see the sign language person out there and who likes to do a little crowd work, if we can find this, I think we'll appreciate this uniquely because I was in Utah. I think I was in Utah.
Perfect.
And between the first and the second show, somebody said they got a sign language guy or girl out there.
Mm-hmm. Mostly girls, I think.
And so your impulse when you're sort of backstage is like, oh, I'm going to fuck around a little with this person. And I think your first impulse is just to swear a lot and have
What's a
them sign it
blowjob
out.
or whatever. I think I asked
Right.
one time what little person was, and she didn't want to do it. And I go, and she had signed something else I did, and I was like, really, you're going to do that, but you can't do dwarf? And then I think she went like that.
We just went, she held her hand up low. I went another direction. Like I figured out a better angle.
Yeah, it's
for the
Wise
sign
Guys.
person.
It's on YouTube.
Oh,
It's
great.
on YouTube. We'll see if we
I think
can.
I might have seen this. Didn't this kind of pop off?
I don't know if it got any traction or not. It just, I think for a guy who likes crowd work and a guy brought up sign language and a guy who does clubs, I think you'll enjoy it.
I'll definitely check it out.
We'll play it for you and the audience as well because it's pretty much, you don't need the visual part. All right, you got it, Dawson?
I think it's loading still.
Oh, it's loading.
Well, I'll take this moment to plug my movie,
I don't have
Love
it yet.
Virtually.
Love Virtually.
Speaking
It's
of
available
online.
now on BFD.
On BFD and DOGG.
VOD. Also, live shows coming up in San Diego, DC. You go to amraycomedy.com.
And Dr. Phil Live, I have done at the Comedy Store with Burr and Adam Devine. Carolla, we're going to have to pop you in on one.
I'd love to.
And tonight actually is with Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee, and then December 4th with Matt Rife, comedystore.com for tickets.
Love all
those.
I don't know. I don't know
great,
Matt, but the rest of those guys I love.
Great.
I'll
right,
be.
I got
All
it
right, we'll
for
play
you.
it for you.
Here we go.
Here we go. And of course, that's not like that.
You're going to be a great dad because your goddammit voice
That
was
was
really
good.
believable.
I know.
I believe
felt
you either
it.
stepped on a toy or got your wife cheating on you.
Well, for some reason, the audio is not coming through. Oh, here we go. Stand by. Here we go. All right.
Do you want to just sign it?
We're here from the deaf person's
sign
perspective.
language interpreter here who's doing his thing, which I'm fine with. I have no fundamental problem with it, but I thought it'd be interesting to see if we can do a little experiment here. Because he's got to say everything I say. Oh, sorry, there's a pole blocking us, but she has to say everything. Well, okay, first things first. this whole COVID thing has made these sign language guys think they're superstars, right? Every motherfucking press conference I've seen in the last 2 years, there's some dickwad with a black turtleneck, his mouth is moving, his hands are flying around. And there's a theme with these assholes because they cannot express themselves through the majesty of dress like I do, like I'm a peppy dresser. People know I've arrived. You can't sit there dressed like Prince in some kind of paisley cardigan or something and do sign language. They all have to wear black turtleneck sweaters. So they express themselves through having crazy fucking hair and weird beards, and then they sit there next to Gavin Newsom or Como, and they're just like piling away.
All part of it.
But anyway, back to the experiment. Why don't we do this? I'm going to break off from doing the sign for the show that Adam Carolla is doing right now. He's just a bloated has-been. I see him on Tucker Carlson talking shit all day. Fuck this guy. If we had somebody in here, like if Janine Garofalo or Patton Oswalt was on stage, I'd sign my ass off. But I totally disagree with that Carolla. I hate his fucking politics. His takes on COVID got people killed, and I'm not going to stand here and parrot all of his jokes using my hands. And by the way, the jokes, do you really need to hear them again? Blah, 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 return eras, blah, 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 I hate my mom. We get it. We get it. You're an old, washed-up sack of shit. But let me direct something toward you. I gotta say, I've never seen a better-looking man who is hearing impaired, and I've seen them all. Signing is a very lonely job. I'm out here on an island. I come home to 3 cats that don't care. I long to be held by a man who understands me, a man I could communicate with even if he can't communicate.
Really?
My apartment is less than 5 minutes from this club. Obviously, I'm a professional, but when the show ends, I let my hair down. And I cease being a sign language interpreter, and I become a woman. You think I can use my hands?
Great. Please tell me that's, so
where do you see what I can do with my mouth?
Yeah. I knew it was coming. Brilliant. Great. What a great rant.
You know, I could stand up here for another 51 minutes signing whatever this racist blowhard's yapping out of his fucking soup cooler. Or we could blow this taco stand, get a couple of drinks, and be up in my apartment in the next half hour. What do you say? I know you're parked up front. All right, we get the joke.
Yeah, that's fucking great, man.
Yeah, it's an angle.
I mean, it's the best possible take on that because it's also, here's why I love it. You want to talk about just crowd work, the approach. You know, a lot of people now with crowd work will post one back and forth and go crowd work, and it's like for me, it's taking the time and having patience to gather information and build a moment. And what you did there wasn't just a couple like one-off lines. You made a meal out of it. Mm-hmm. I've never heard or seen that. It's usually somebody goes, do this motion or look, you know what I'm saying? And they just quick. So you really committed and got them on board to where it was like, now they were listening to a whole story. And you put it on yourself, which is great. But putting it on him is really fucking funny. Because you create a whole other.
Well, thanks, Adam.
Yeah,
right?
Man.
And a good note to go out on.
Yeah, very sweet.
I could remember that one. AdamRayComedy.com is where you go. And also Love Virtually.
Love Virtually. It was a great movie to do. I voice a bouncer in it, and you got Sherry O'Terry and Stephen Tobolewsky in it, and it's about people finding love in the virtual world, which we all have done at some point in our 30s.
Go to Carolla.com. I'm going to be in Fargo coming up on Thursday the 30th. Yes, that's right. And doing a show there at a theater. And then Nashville, Zanies, December 1st and 2nd. And Agua Caliente added a second show in Palm Springs. That'll be Saturday, December 16th. Just go to AdamCarolla.com. And until next time, Adam.
And also just thanks to Podcast One for letting us
use
their studio.
Great space.
Brand new studio.
Great cocktail.
Oh, I got to get one of those.
Great house. The pool. They said we can all stay here and I think do blow off of Dawson's shoe or something. I forget what they said when I walked in.
It was on the invite, yeah.
It was, yeah.
So, till next time, Adam Carolla, Adam Ray, and Illeana Douglas, and Chris Max Pattis saying, Mahala.